Good morning, everybody. If you can hear me and if this sounds okay, if you don't mind hitting that number 1. Again, if you can hear me and if I sound good audio-wise, not too loud or not too low. Hoover, Brad, Raspberry, Kevin, Ty, Crazy, Earl, Jamie. Perfect. Thank you. All right, very quickly, for those of you that watch us in the archive, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But just to be straightforward, if you want to have something to continue to watch in the archive, this is totally viewer supported. Code Clay, all caps, with any of these prop firms is how you can help support the stream. And again, ensure that it continues so you have something to watch in the archive. I recommend, I love Take Profit Trader. I think they're the king of the business, but I do understand everybody's at different locations in their prop firm journey. So maybe you're with multiple firms, but either way, using Code Clay gives you whatever the current discounts are, saves you some money, and helps you support the stream. So it's a good win-win for everybody involved. So I appreciate your consideration. For those of you that have used it, thank you very much. All right. All right, well, officially, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 27th. The year is 2026. And it's been good for me. I haven't made a lot of trades. I haven't really needed to, but I understand good is a subjective term. So maybe you're like, what are you talking about? This has been a garbage environment. I can see that also. But like I said, I have not made a whole lot of trades, so I can't say that I've had too many opportunities to get faked out or chopped up or anything like that. But hopefully you're all off to a good start. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. And enjoy this. We had some storms come through, so everybody in the Midwest, I think right now, people in Illinois, maybe parts of certain areas of, what would that be, southeast Missouri. I think maybe a little bit in Indiana. I know, so you have some storms. We had those hit us earlier this morning. We had the potential for maybe things to get really rough, but I think we got missed by the majority of it. But one of those things where I was like, I don't know, maybe I won't be here today if the power doesn't go out. But yeah, we got missed. But yeah, be safe for those of you in Illinois, Indiana, certain parts of Missouri. But we survived. So right now, interesting idea. Yeah, sure. I assume that was a typo. The R, yeah. Amazing how much one letter can really kind of throw things off. Very solid morning, 9:50 payout. Another good job, Evil. How was your week? Weekend was good for me. Good for me. And now it's kind of just my mind is pretty much consumed constantly with the building stuff. So the weather, because we are still at the phase of building right now where the weather still matters. So yeah, today's got me a little bummed out because I don't think any of the work's going to get done just because the site, I'm sure, is quite muddy over there now. But so I'm a little bummed in that regard, but that's just part of the process. Let's get a couple levels here mapped out. So really interested in 2 levels. Well, I guess 3. Overnight low still has my attention a little bit. Then we have this overarching trend line, and then we have VWAP up here, the dotted yellow line. I don't know, maybe I should be more intrigued by the purple line, which is a 50-period simple moving average. That's been a level of not really just flat-out rejections, but lots of fake breaks. So there is maybe a trade there. Again, I would never just short right in front of that level. Sure, it's worked out a couple times, but it seems as though there could be like a fake breakout of that purple line potentially in play. Not struggle bust this morning, not red. Well, that's good. Rookie morning. Hey, good morning, rookie. That small spike on the downside would have got me, but I was in small. Yeah, yep. That is the benefits of size for sure. I had one of those this morning on this. Yeah, I was short on this move up. Believe it or not, it actually turned out to be a fine trade just because, per Evil's point, I started small with micros and I was able to kind of build a little bit of size. And I finally got, within these movements, got enough of a pullback to hop out for a decent sized trade. But yeah, had I started just like huge size or with NQs or something, that would have been rough. Hey, good morning, the Vossen. I had an order on the big candle. Yeah, the big candle. Does anybody, was this, I don't know, how many points was this? 40 up to, yeah, this was like a 50-point move. Does anybody know, was there news on this movement here, or is this just a bunch of buyers showed up? Blew my account. Uncle, that's all right. Well, it's part of it. It's part of it. Hey, good morning, Nowak. I couldn't find news. Yeah, I like I said, this, yeah, it was higher volume. Yeah, it was a decent sized move, but I mean, definitely not a Trump tweet. This is not any sort of Trump tweet type movement. It was, only 45 points. Yeah. So once again, purple line, as I pointed out, that's, maybe I should be more interested in that level than I am right now. Hey, good morning, Monk. Didn't see any news either. Hey, thank you, Maggie. I appreciate it. Thank you for using code Clay. Thank you for helping to feed some hungry children. When you say overnight low, your overnight high, what is the time frame that you're... I mean, here are the settings for it. So, I mean, those are my settings to get exactly what I have right there. Good long weekend with hot springs along with my Posi Pueblo artifacts. I'm sorry, I do not know what Posi Pueblo artifacts. Or is that a place? Either way, it sounds like you had a good weekend, Jocko. I'm just not sure. Or Posi Pueblo, is that a place or is that like a thing? I mean, that's fair. That I'm sure the rain is helping with the mushroom production, but I don't know. I'd rather just keep the house moving. Especially, we met with the flooring guy on Saturday, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm hearing from the mills for like, because we're looking at some wood flooring that, yeah, I think it's already happened." I mean, he's like, "Well, the fuel surcharge is already showing up. Like, you're already going to be paying at least $40-50 more for delivery on all this stuff. So, like, I mean, you're not escaping that. But sounds like wood flooring, just stuff like that from the mills, might be going up 8 to 9%." Just because of fuel. So, was not really the greatest time to start building the house, was when missiles started flying, but it is what it is. So that's why I'm just we're trying to figure out as much material stuff as we can and make these final decisions. But yeah, so I'm getting smacked around a little bit. And I know 8 to 9% may not sound like a lot, but I mean, every little bit adds up, and every little bit that now I'm having to spend extra here, I obviously can't spend somewhere else. So, yeah, it's a little frustrating. But it is what it is. I'm live in the Discord. I'm posting stuff in the Discord, like images and all that sort of stuff. Wow, good job. Stop, Romu, good job. Don't stop counting your streak, okay? Just stop with the streak stuff. Because I've done the streak thing, and I think others can attest. You start counting streaks, and then instead of just getting out of a trade or doing something that you should, you begin to bend rules and break rules in the name of the streak. Well, if I follow my rules, the streak might end. Who cares? I mean, and you can lure yourself into behaving badly in the name of the streak. So good job, but if I can offer you one bit of feedback, maybe don't worry about the streak anymore. Just trade. Trade and follow your rules. To be fair, maybe that would never affect you, but my argument would be, well, why even tempt yourself? All right, moving down towards this trend line, so maybe we get some sort of potential around here. Yeah, you are definitely not the first person that said that, Slow Morrow. And that's also exactly why I say, for the beginner to the prop firm space, take private trader it's just better. To be fair to Apex, though, if you've ever heard Apex called a scam, blah, 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 they're not a scam. What happens is beginners to the prop firm space show up, they get overwhelmed by the rules and this, that, and the other, and then maybe they get denied payouts and all that sort of stuff, and they just didn't follow the rules because there are a lot of rules and a lot of things you have to consider. So no, Apex is not a scam, but that's also why I would never say if you're a beginner to the prop firm space, don't go with Apex. Nice job, Compton. Congrats, man. Yeah, thanks for giving them a try, Slow Morrow. Compton, is that all from gold trading or is that a mix of things? Yeah, that's true, Jim. I did notice that. Like, I think we're on a streak, a supposed streak of no rain at all. So hopefully that actually is the thing that happens. What's the rules with the news trading and scalping? Yeah, you just can't trade like huge news, like Fed announcements. And when you say you can't trade, all that means is if the announcement is at 2 o'clock, that just means you can't be in the trade at 1:59, 2 o'clock, or 2:01. But outside of that, you can trade. But no, with them, if you're looking to be a degenerate gambler and like, oh no, I want to load up right before the news is put on, and then either go big or go home, which is not trading, by the way. Then yeah, you can't do that with a pro account at least. You can do that in their test phase if you want, but not in the pro account. Oh, you just been trading NQ? Well, good job, Compton. Yeah, Nas, perhaps. But I don't know. I thought Ramu might reply. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, do people just like that are on these hot streaks, are they hopping from one stream to another, just copy and pasting the same thing over and over again? I don't know. Maybe he's still here. Okay. It's just got to make a trade or not. I'm trying, brothers and sisters and furries. I'm trying. As I said a few moments ago, I'm interested in this trend line right here, but as you saw, right, it just didn't. I mean, heck, it didn't even come down to this overnight low, which I was still a little bit. Oh yeah, well there's no scalping rule on take prop trader at all. That's like one of the big arguments is there's no consistency rule, there's no scalping rule, there's no scaling rule. Okay, all right, Ramu, you're still here. Well, just be careful about this streak. Don't lure yourself into a bad temptation. Hey, Cosmic. Hey, Random Hero. Good morning. I'm becoming used to his greeting. Morning, freaks, geeks, and peeps. I literally reached out and I thought I was grabbing the coffee mug, but I grabbed the yeah. Whoops. It's like, that seems a little too soft for good stuff, Ramu. Good stuff. I have 3 test accounts over buffer. Nice trucking. Yeah, same here. Same here, Batch. I didn't quite pull it either. You think that's a bad sign? Uh-oh. Because you're saying that means I'm probably going to need it here? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. All right, well, I just meant to bring this over earlier, but oil got through its key. This level right here had been quite the stubborn level. So, yeah, is oil about to see some continued journey upwards now? It was stuck below there for quite a while, but not anymore. I don't know. I don't know what brand this is. It's probably from Costco, I would guess. That is a good question. Yeah, I'm getting ready for. Yeah, maybe that was my subconscious. Like I know something's about to happen. I know a Trump candle or whatever they're being called these days. A scam candle, whatever. Okay. Do we try the rejection of this purple line? I mean, it's been rejected. Yeah, I'll give it a go. We've had a bunch of fake breaks. Maybe we can get another one, or maybe it'll be the comical situation where when I finally try to play the rejection off of here, that's happened 8 million times. It'll be the time where it doesn't reject. We'll see. So trying to get short at the red line. If that red line turns blue, I'm in. Again, this purple line has had many fake breaks and rejections. So I am in. There's my first target. Please don't make me look stupid and have me be that guy. Or do I just take the scalpy scalp to start off in with the green trade? Let's do this. Let's bring this down to there. Okay, this will... Hey, ooh, that was scary. That did not react right away. All right, so this will be a green trade. Okay, so now very, very small green trade. That was a little scary, though, because when I dragged it down, as soon as I released it, normally it immediately goes down, but there was a slight little lag in there. So on TB say I buy 25K one time, there's no levels to accounts, right? What do you mean there's no levels to accounts? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I mean, like they have a pretty good website explaining stuff. Hey, good morning, JJ. Do I try again? We are once more right at that purple line. Good morning, Alex. All right, I'm going to try again. Short here at the red line. Unless this is, yeah, we'll let it go. We'll let it be. And if that red line turns blue, I am short. Unless maybe this is finally some sort of legit breakout of the purple line. That purple line being the 50-period simple moving average, not exponential. So that is the 50 SMA. All right, well, at this point, maybe that was the true breakout. So I'll... Is it about to come all the way back? 70 up to... Yeah, I can still risk that. That's fine. Okay. Okay, I'm in. Nice looking candle here. So, all right. Do what you've done many, many times before. Just fake break. I mean, well, I guess you already did fake break. Now give me some continuation. It also, if you were to look at the 5-minute, it's also rejected off the 21 EMA, so that played a role in this decision-making process too. Come on, brother. Get down there, brother. Hit that first target at least, brother. All right, I'm putting my stop there. Basically, small green if it comes back up. So this will be a green trade. Come on. Oh, no, I was break even, actually, because I'm still at 7. Goodness. My ego is very much so at work right now. The honest assessment of my brain is I don't want to look like the stupid guy that when I play that 50 SMA, see, there's the problem with the ego right there. Doggone it. Oh well. That is my idiotic, prideful issue right there. Not wanting to look stupid. Don't be the guy where you finally play the 50-period moving average and then you're the idiot that plays it right at the time where it no longer works. No, it once again worked. The problem with pride leads to ego. Ego leads to the dark side. The dark side leads to really stupid looking. So, I mean, that's the irony. In trying not to look stupid, I just look stupid. I'm well aware of the the comedic irony in all this. But hey, if you're like, dude, I don't care. Like, I'm gonna let this thing cook a little bit. Good job. You got it to roll over. Nah, that was a good. That was a good Gandalf quote I had there. But in all actuality, what is going on? Like, we are just. Was that Friday though, where the first part of the stream was kind of, we were stuck, not a whole lot going on, and then the back half really opened up and. Please give me a 2. Give me a 2 if you join me on this short up here, but because you're an independent thinker, you disagreed with my putting the stop loss where I did, so therefore you didn't get kicked out of the trade. Is anybody here still in that short? Give me a 2. You agreed with me on the entry, but you disagreed with me on stop loss placement because you're an independent thinker, which is the power of independent thinking. Sokol, Eric, only 2 of you? That is disappointing. Well, shout out to you couple, and hey, all right, Jimmy. All right, we're right at the trend line now. Do we get a bounce, or is there going to be now more final continuation down through here? All right, Johnny, all right, at least we have some people that are still short. That's good. That makes me feel a little bit better. I didn't even take the trade, and I wanted to because it was at... Oh, brother. Good grief. Talking about all this. Did you guys see the reel from Friday? It actually got pretty... I think it's up over 15,000 views. So I think it resonated well with some people. And it's at, like, I want to say, like, a 98-something%. Because it was at OVN value. What is an OVN? What is a value area? What is it? Can somebody explain what a value area is? Is a value area just like all right, I can't do it. A value area. Like Value City, who remembers Value City? I think they went bankrupt. I think Value City Furniture might still be around. Where 70% of the volume is for the day. Okay, so if it's at 71%, it's no longer a value area. Range of 70% volume. But why not 72? Or why not 68? Why 70? What makes 70 so special? You can make it what you want. So then it's not... okay, well, a lot of people said 70%, so that seemed like that's the standard. Well, hey. Like I said, I'm an idiot. I'm like, oh, look, there's this purple line. Oh, look, the price has been tending to break above it slightly and then come back down. Oh, look, the price is breaking up through there. Oh, look, it's starting to come back down. Now, yes, I was a baboon for the reasons discussed. I'm putting where my stop is, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just, yeah. Anyways. Okay, so if that's a value area and you're not supposed to take a trade there because it's the value area, then how can I make myself sound smart? That was the anti-value area. There we go. I went short there because it was an anti-value area. That's why. That's why I did it. Interesting, JP. Yeah, sounds like anything out there. I trade volume profile. Are you one of those guys that like puts way too much emphasis on volume profile? I still remember we had one dude that was just like, all you got to do is like, and it was such a simple system. And it's like, well, Trading, I think trading needs to be a little bit more than that, but who knows? But yeah, some people like I trade. I mean, I utilize volume profile over here, but like I'm also using other things too. I only trade volume profile. And are you having good solid success with that? Good solid success being defined as getting payouts. Again, I don't have anything against volume profile. I have it right here. I'm utilizing it as part of my decision making process, but I don't know. Some people, I don't know. The IB high. Oh boy. All right, let's just change the topic of conversation. Dipping my toe in copy trading. What? Ooh, which of the K's up 187 so far? Cool, Ty. Yeah, keep us posted how that goes. I mean, as with anything, in some ways you're taking on more risk, right? Because now you have two accounts at risk. But in other ways, it's actually less risky because you have the same purchasing power, but that risk is actually spread out across now two accounts. Which I know you know this, but yeah, cool. All right, once again, up to the purple line. Let's see what it wants to do here. We're at the Taiwanese volume profile midpoint, so let's see how it wants to react. You also have to keep in mind that it's close to the Scottish VWAP, and the Scottish VWAP can be a bit tricky. Especially if the William Wallace order flow indicator is flashing and yelling freedom at you. So you can't see, but off screen, I see William Wallace, freedom, right now because of the Scottish VWAP. So you got to be careful. I do sell the Scottish VWAP for $9.99 per month. If anybody's interested, just let me know. In the Scottish VWAP. I just got a... Hey, thank you. One of my favorite names, Tilted Turtles. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. The Taiwan top and Bermuda bottom. No, those are both scam areas. No. Don't even bring up the Taiwan and Bermuda. Don't even try with me. You know that's a scam. One of my favorites though are Eiffel Tower pivot points. Those are really solid. Eiffel Tower pivot points. All right, maybe a long down around here. North Sentinel Island. That one's decent. I don't know. If I get long here, I don't know where to put. I guess I could have a real tight stop. Yeah, I guess I'm talking to myself right now. I just don't want to have a stop where I'm putting it like slightly above these areas here but I also want to get long here with a stop all the way down there. That's more like a sway trader type movement. And I don't have anything against sway traders, by the way. I'm just not really... I'm trying to avoid having to hold on something for like hours on end. All right, so once again, purple line still doing its thing. Here, though, we just had a flat-out rejection. No fake breaks on that one. But yeah, that 50-period SMA thing is doing work. You never heard of... Yeah, come on, man. We talk about sway traders all the time. Clay, what is a sway trader? It's a combination of day trader and swing trader because in the world of futures, given each day is open 23 hours a day, in theory, you could have a 22-hour, 59-minute trade, which is basically like a swing trade at that point. But it is still in the same day, same session, so it is still technically a day trade. But like I said, I'm not a sway trader. I have zero interest in buying something with a 100-point stop and a 300-point target. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying for me, like I don't feel like holding on to a position for hours on end. The defense minister, there will be no ceasefire in Lebanon as their forces and the towns of Galilee. What about ding trading? No. It's already been decided. Sway trade. I don't even think I came up with that term. I think somebody else did. But no, we are not. It is known around here as sway trading. But ding, I guess that could have worked. Ding. Yeah, but if you get ding trading, one typo, look on your keyboard. Look what is right next to the I on the keyboard. And then think about the typo that we are putting ourselves at risk of if we call it ding trading. Again, I'll let you adults piece together the rest of that. But look on your keyboard. What is right next to it? So there we go. We want to avoid that. We don't want to call it that. That might lead people astray in terms of what we're trying to do here. I know. I in no way, shape, or form sway. Nope, Todd. I am not a... But I am going to go for a long down here. And just give a little bit of wiggle room right there. So put my stop right there. So this area has provided support before right there. A couple times right there. So maybe, I guess we could call this, I'm trying to play a form of a triple bottom, if you will. So since this morning, we have been going down, making lower lows, but since 9:50, we were making higher lows. Ooh, getting a little spicy here. We do have note auctions today at 1 o'clock, 2 of them. I think the 3 and 5 year. So we will be able to collect some more data for our group experiment here. So we got to remind each other, because I do not want to be in the market between 1 and we'll call it 103-ish. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Wednesday, I think, is a big news day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's the Fed. And then after hours on Wednesday should be quite spicy too, because I think there's some big tech companies. And that is one of the things where you do, I know we are not trading stocks, but it's one of those things we're keeping an eye during earnings season on who's making earnings. Now, this is irrelevant to you. If you're a futures trader and you just trade between, the normal hours, 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, then this is irrelevant to you. But if you are somebody that doesn't mind continuing to trade after the stock market closes at 4 p.m., then yeah, you'll definitely be sure you're checking the earnings calendars, because when NVIDIA announces today, I think, or Wednesday, I think, is Apple. So the market, Apple is a big enough company where it can definitely, cause the futures to get a little spicy. So you keep that in mind. Bag 7. So how many are announcing on Wednesday? Not all 7 of them, is it? I don't even know who is the Magnificent 7. Don't they change it out? It used to be, what do they used to be called? There used to be a cool name for them, but I don't remember what that was. Yes, thank you, FANG. That was it. Yeah, the FANG stocks, yep. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's gone. So that's been replaced with the Magnificent 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, who are the Magnificent 7? Because that's 5. So who's the other 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Tesla? Tesla's one of the Magnificent 7. We're going to have to fact check that one. Is that true? I mean, I guess I could not be such a dent and just... Well, okay. All right. I stand correct. Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, No. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Nvidia, and Tesla. Okay, there we go. So they're not all announcing on Wednesday, are they? Somebody said Meg 7 on Wednesday. All 7 are announcing on Wednesday? No. 4 are. Okay, 4 of them. Okay, so over half. 4 are. Just 5 of them. Okay, at least you said you think. So anyways, Wednesday should be pretty spicy. Wednesday, I also expect to be brutally well, this is all assuming that nothing changes with Iran. But yeah, I expect Wednesday morning to be, as the market waits for the Fed announcement, to be kind of slow and choppy. All right, maybe a long here. Again, looking to get long at the green line. Stop is at the red. Trying to be patient. Oh, boy. I guess I have made 2 trades. It just seems like... I don't know. Today's been kind of... I don't know. The spidey senses are saying that could be just the point where it goes down and just flushes through there now. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that trade plan out. Chart will show no. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So my point is just on Wednesday, if you do trade after hours, like there's gonna be some sort of spike. It's gonna be basically like a Fed announcement type thing. I don't think that it'll last that long, but I mean, you could be looking at a nice little pattern and everything makes rational sense, and then those, some of those stocks start making their earnings, and you could get paid very nicely or absolutely destroyed. So just be aware of that. Yeah, oil is just kind of slowly creeping upwards. We were talking about that earlier, how it broke out through that kind of the area around, what was that on CL? Right around about 96.50, and since then it's kind of slowly been creeping up. So is there a logical way to trading news? Yes, be aware of it so that you can avoid it. That is a logical way to trade news. And when I say avoid it, I don't mean like, okay, I just be done that day. I just mean if you're loading up right before something's being announced, that is no longer a trade. Like that is a full-blown gamble. Maybe that's okay, right? So for example, maybe you're with a prop account and it's a pro. Maybe it's not even a pro. Maybe you're like, you know what, I'm sick of this thing. I either need to pass this thing or it needs to go bye-bye because it's getting close to maybe resubscribe. There are circumstances in the prop firm space where I can see just taking a full-blown, hey, let's just see what happens. So if you have a bull flag, and you're like, you know what, it's a bull flag. Yes, I know earnings are about to be established, but it's a bull flag. So I'm just going to be long, go long, and let's see if this bull flag does get a breakout, even if the breakout was just caused because, well, that was only because of earnings. Well, I mean, okay. If you have a pro account and, you're at a 5,000% ROI on it, already, maybe you take a swing at it. I don't know, because that account, that trade has already paid for itself time and time again. So there's a time and place. Now, if you're just using your own funds, I can't ever imagine there being a time and place where you're like, yeah, let's just take a big swing at it. Okay, all right. I'm going to try a long here. I'm glad I did not, because I would have been stopped out already of that trade. This is a knife catch, but I'm trying to play basically the double bottom. That white line here, there's also a pivot point down here. The white line represents that being the low of the day. You can see that right there. And then, like I said, there is a pivot, which the price, surprise, surprise, bounced right off of. What broker am I using? I'm in a prop firm. So the prop firm that I'm using is Take Profit Trader. That's the link that you see at the top of the screen. That will take you to the prop firm that I'm using. And then through that prop firm, I'm using Tradeovate as my platform. All right, well, didn't quite come down enough. I will say this. So that was a winning trade for me. Penny saved is a penny earned. But you guys know that I don't know if everybody, but if you were here, you still had a trade here. My stop loss was slightly below it. So that would have been a losing trade. So the spidey sense was good there that I'm not quite sure this is the same setup as when you were originally thinking. But I am interested in potentially a move down here. And oil is actually CL's got a pivot point at about 97.60-ish. So maybe if oil struggles around there, maybe this is where the market here could get a little bit of a bounce. So yeah, maybe the market moves. Okay, so maybe oil comes up more, which would cause the markets to drop down more. So it comes up more and it gets, even if it's just a temporary rejection. Well, by going up more, that is going to cause, in my theory right now, that is going to cause the markets to come down a little bit more, and maybe that's what brings it to this pivot. So then when oil starts to struggle with its pivot and maybe gets smacked back down, maybe that's when this pivot here produces a little bit of a bounce. So that's my working theory right now that I'm going to keep an eye on. But as of now, oil is now already getting smacked back down. Actually looking at it like a pretty bearish candle here. Again, there's still about a minute left before that candle is done forming. So if it's a falling knife, so if it's falling and you try and catch it, you're catching a knife. But if it's running up and you're trying to catch it down, I don't know. I've always just called that trying to catch the top. I don't know. I don't know what the lingo for that is. I've also sometimes, I step in front of a freight train. I don't know. Trying to stop a freight train. I don't know what the term, maybe there is. I don't know what the official term for a falling knife, and I don't even know where that came from. Just like dead cat bounces. Like, I don't know where that saying came from. But I've always just tried to call it, I'm trying to catch the top. Hey, clap. Grab the, I guess grab the rocket could be a way you could look at it. Wait for the knife to stick in the ground and stop quivering before you grab it. Yeah, so that's more of waiting for confirmation, but sometimes if you wait for all that, it's too late and you're left behind. Grab the rocket, feels like you're catching, yeah. Yeah, that seems more like it would be a momentum thing. But yeah, I'm not quite sure there is actually kind of a universal saying out there for when you're trying to short something that's going strongly up. Okay, origin of the term dead cat bounce, 1985 coining. This phrase is generally attributed to Financial Times journalists Chris Sherwell and Wang Sulong, who used it to describe a 1985 stock market rebound in Singapore. And okay, well, yeah, but why did they use that term? Anyways, maybe I'll do a little bit more research on the history of why it's like, what does that even mean? Hi, buddy. No, that had no bearing on me leaving stocks. Was a pattern day trading rule. I mean, I don't say this to brag, but yeah, if I needed to, I could meet the rule. I could meet the thresholds of the pattern day trading rule if I wanted to. Stocks are literally garbage. Like, day trading stocks are garbage compared to day trading futures through a prop firm. You need way more capital. You have way bigger risk. And you need way bigger moves. And even when you get those bigger moves, you're still making less than you would with way less money with futures. But that's also why my argument is not just day trade futures. No. Day trade futures through a prop firm because of how quickly futures can move. especially as a beginner trader, going and just trading futures with your own funds. Holy smokes, bad idea. Even just micros. That's how great futures can move. So yeah, no, I pattern day trend rule had no bearing, and the rule change has no bearing, and it's still okay. Here we go. Maybe a short here. Let's see if it wants to come up here and get rejected at this area. But yeah, day trading stocks, garbage. Day trading options, even more garbage. Wait, why? Well, there's this little thing that I'm sure you're aware of called theta that is probably a massive annoyance to you. No, I day trade options. I don't even know what you're talking about when you say theta. Well, that's a massive red flag in and of itself. Like, you definitely should not be day trading stocks in that regard. I'm interested in a short potential. I'm going to get rid of this trend line here. I think it's finally served its purpose. But I'd like to see if no, I'll just try to get short there. Let's see. Trying to catch a move up is called FOMO. Well, no, it couldn't be. I mean, Chase, like I said, I think you have to specify if you're trying to short. You're doing the opposite of the move, right? If you're doing the opposite of the move when it's going down, you're trying to catch the knife. Okay. I can't talk anymore. I'm about to get filled, maybe. If that red line turns blue, I'm short. Let's see if the 21 EMA and the overnight low, kind of like potentially a double whammy here of resistance, want to reject it down. I really don't like how it's putzing around it yet, not filling me. Doggone it. How did I... All right, well, that was the trade I was looking for, and I just did not get filled. All right, let's go up to our trusty... Ooh. What is that? Oh, not even 10 points? I'll take that trade. Not even risking 10 points for that? I'll do that. So looking for kind of like a little miniature double top. We have that rejection right there, and then we have the purple line, which if you've been on the stream... Oh, boy. Okay, I could potentially get short here now. Because that's such a... If it wants to come up here, show me green a little bit. Okay, never mind. Too much green now. All right, let's go back to this trade plan. Okay, here we go. Let's see if the purple line wants to once again do what the purple line, again, the 50 SMA has been doing over and over and over and over again. Ooh, I don't know what to do. Do I get short here? If you're getting short right here, I don't blame you one bit. I don't blame you one bit. Assuming you're getting short and you're throwing your stop right there and you're seeing if this, but I'm going to just stick with my plan, but I'm not calling you crazy at all. Yeah, note auction is at 1 p.m. Thank you. Hey, Cole. All right, here we go. Maybe. There you go. All right, let's see. If this is some sort of straight up V shape, well, then I'm about to have a losing trade. But this purple line has quite the record, and now we have this group of highs right here. So, no. Wait, would my original trade plan have been filled there? It might have been filled. I don't have time right now to figure that out. I think it might have been filled. Oh, no, it would not have been filled. Never mind. It would have been very, very... Okay, that would have been even more annoying. Hey, George. Again, if you look at the 21 EMA and the 5-minute, it's also up around this area where I'm trying to get short. So I'm trying to play both 2-minute things and over on the 5-minute. None of this means that it'll for sure be a winning trade, but there are several pieces to this one. No. Getting short at 366. And where's your stop at, TA? Come on, man. Do a 3-day water only fast. I have done a 3-day fast before. I do 3 24 hours every week anyways, but I don't do any 3-day in a row. Huh? Oh. Life can be very confusing when you have a bigger family. You never really know. Or am I being talked to or am I not? Life, in some senses, becomes a big mystery. It'll work. I mean, maybe, George, but I'm not. I don't think this will offend you. But I don't know if it would be wise of me to just take medical advice from just strangers on a chat box. Again, hopefully, I don't think that's a very controversial statement, and I don't think that's offensive to you. But it makes me nervous, George. That's what I'm saying. It would make me nervous to take medical advice from just some dude on a chat box. Okay, well, whatever we want to call this thing, health, something about my body, however we want to frame this, George. I do. I appreciate the thoughts. Maybe I can look into it a little bit more. Well, so there it was, the purple line once again doing its thing. However, the one thing that has now changed is we're just facing no more fake breaks. It doesn't even necessarily touch it either. It just gets close and gets rejected, close, rejected, close, rejected. Whereas what I was doing earlier in the live stream was I was waiting for, the fake breakouts. Hey, morning, Cam. Ooh, is it going to give me another chance? Or is this the time that it finally breaks up through? Short 330. Oh, so you're waiting for this thing to come down here? Roger that. What would be really nice is if this candle closes somewhere right around here, the next candle starts like right there, immediately goes up, bumps its head on the purple line, and then comes back down. That way I could get short like right here, throw my stop above there, and I have a tiny risk profile, and if that thing rolls over, well, then I'd be looking at potentially some very nice upside. So that would be my ideal preference in a world filled with rainbows and lollipops and Sour Patch Kids. We're getting close, though. This candle just needs to stay below the purple line for the next, basically, 38 seconds. So these are 2-minute candles, meaning each one of these moves around for 2 minutes, and then the next one starts to move around. No, not now. Go back up there. Okay, we still have time, though, for it to recover. NVIDIA is less than $2 away from all-time highs. Yeah, NVIDIA is... I don't even know what changed. We had a family over for lunch after church yesterday, and then one of the things that came up was something about water. Like, are we like the United States is going to potentially run out of water because all these AI supercomputers, blah blah blah, need to be cooled off, and the amount of water it's actually taking to cool these things off is, I don't know. We're going to be out of water like 2030 or something. Does anybody have any idea? Like, has anybody else heard this about, like, one of the issues of all this AI is like the cooling functions and all the water needed? That is a valid thing. Okay, I'd never considered it. Hearing it, I was like, that actually does make sense. My cousin said AI uses millions of water a day or something. Yeah, that's what she was saying. It's like the amount it used, like every time you generate that little chat GPT. Yeah, I saw that in the news, Ty. Lots of controversy. Oh, over the water in specific, Glock? Which would make sense down in Texas. I just, growing up in Ohio and then spending a lot of time in Michigan, Great Lakes stakes, like water was never, that was not a political point at all. But I realize the further out west you get, like, yeah, there could be maybe somebody's running it on that platform. Well, I'm going to do XYZ for water rights. Like, that stuff is foreign. That's not really still here in Iowa. But, I mean, it's, you know, we're not exactly by the Great Lakes anymore. But, yeah. So, on that note, why would data centers not just be built by all the Great Lakes? I don't know. Water can be reused. Yeah, but after it's used to cool, can you reuse it? Is it still considered fresh water at that point? I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. At this point, is AI even worth it? I think it has to be, just from like a military standpoint. I think that if everybody just agreed that, like, hey, we're just, it's going to be like one peaceful world, and that was true, I'm not quite sure AI would necessarily be needed per se. But yeah, I think that's one of those unfortunate things from, like, given the world is not that, I think you have to keep pushing forward with it. Because the other people that do they reach the point where, you know, I don't know. I would imagine the water would evaporate. No. Yeah, but if it evaporates, doesn't it just go back up to the clouds and then it comes back? I don't know. Yeah, I'd never heard of that, but I was, when she says, like, oh, that does sound. Yeah, Stithen, exactly. This, if you grow up and if you're anywhere near the Great Lakes, like there's no like, we're gonna run. There's those conversations just don't exist. There's plenty of water. I mean, like, even in we had an up north property in Michigan, and we were thinking about maybe doing an in-ground pool. But, like, the threat to the in-ground pool, and probably why it wouldn't work, is the water table was so high. Like, there's no, we started digging, we already hit water. Probably not gonna. It's just like, all right. All right, we are right at the 21 EMA on the 5-minute. So on that note, I might just take a quick. Oh no! Did I miss it? You got to be kidding me. All right, well, I tried. Again, what I was looking for was this. We are right at this 21 EMA. So, I don't know, maybe I try again. See if it does want to once more get rejected back down. Alrighty then. Rockies have record low snow packing this year. Not going to be pretty summer. Okay, so that's a metric that is. I mean, that would make sense why people out in that area would probably care about. I guess I've never heard about snowpack. I don't even know what snowpack is, but yeah, I can. All right, well, we are now through. Okay, I will look to get short at the red line. Stop is the green. Let's see if it wants to make its way back up here. Ooh. I don't know. I might. Yeah, I think that might. So let's check out the 5-minute real quick. Check out the 5-minute. We have the double whammy right now. We have the 50 period, simple moving average, and the VWAP, and they are right at. They're smooching. So we have a smooching resistance right here. Now, as time goes by, the purple line will eventually, move itself further below. But as of right now, if there would be some sort of pop, ooh, and it's right at that round number of 400. Ooh, it's kind of attractive. We're gonna call that a clay face pattern. That thing is beautiful. I'm gonna throw my order out there just in case. Put my stop right up here, brother. Let's see what happens. If it wants to actually come up here. What about nuclear power plant? They use water. Yeah, I don't know. I just heard that. I'd never considered it. My Radio Shack stock. I think that's a joke, right? Didn't Radio Shack? That's a joke, right? There's no Radio Shacks anymore, is there? That's a joke, right? If it's not, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to rub in that fact. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a joke, but then I was like, wait a second. Maybe I have Radio Shack confused with somebody else. Give me a 5 if you remember Circuit City. Let's all reveal our ages. 5 for Circuit City. I own some Blockbuster, Wayne. There we go. Here's all the older folks stepping up. Look at all these old folk in the room. I should have had you tell me your age, too, as part of that. 5 with the hyphen and then your age, but that's okay. You got to at least be what, probably 30? That's probably the cutoff. Like, age 30 and above probably remembers Circuit City. Oh, yeah, CompUSA. That was not nearly as prevalent as Circuit City, though. I don't know anything you're yeah, that would make sense. Montgomery Awards? I always thought it was Montgomery Wards. You worked at Circuit City? Nice. I remember I knew a girl that worked there. I think it was pretty good perks and stuff she got. Dude, the best. This is just, yeah, I was just whatever. Don't judge me. No, I mean yeah. But I once knew a girl that worked at Bob Evans. And then I think she liked me, so she'd bring me those biscuits after work. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Bob Evans biscuits, best biscuits on the market. Changed my mind. Wait, Bob Evans is only in Ohio? That's not true. Really? No, stop. Stop. There are Bob Evans outside of Ohio, aren't there? Yeah? Who? Oh, hi, Kit. Yeah, you can show me it real quick. Hey, Peter. No, they're in West Virginia too. Oh, I thought Bob Evans was like a national chain. Anyways, I'm not a huge fan of Bob Evans outside of the biscuits, like whatever, but they got good biscuits. All right, oil with the pullback. Oil is at the 21 EMA right now. So do we see some sort of bounce from oil? It is trending up. Got the pullback right to the 21 EMA right now. Trying to work on some sort of consolidation here. My dad's family is from Ohio. Talk about some great. There we go. I still don't know how to say that city. I've seen the city's name because it's so unique looking. I don't know how to say it, though. Fry's Electronics was my Disneyland. Fry's Electronics. I don't know. Fry's Electronics. Mary B's is a good bit. I've never heard of Mary B's. But I will say this. Mary's got nothing on Bob. Bob's biscuits will dunk on Mary's biscuits. Gala Police. Galal Police. Galapagos. I think in my mind I always said it as Galapagos. Like the Galapagos Islands, you know. Still interested in a short up around here if she wants to make the move, but There's no more price choppers? What's gold been doing? Kind of lost track of gold. Oh, yeah. I never heard of them. Okay. Okay. This is, just notice on the 5 minute, we are now working on our 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth candle in a row, green. Last week, we had some pretty epic movements where, I don't remember what the most one was. I think it was maybe Wednesday. We hit 10 green candles in a row on the 5 minute. I don't know if that's totally accurate, but I do remember last week there were some of those occasions where it was just slow and steady green straight up on the 5 minute. Nvidia still grinding higher. Roger that. Yeah, it feels very wrong right now to be getting short. I like it more up at the VWAP, but right now it just feels wrong. But it's also scary to get long here right now too. Well, I'm curious, is anybody long or short right now? Give me a 1 if you're currently long, 2 if you're currently short. 1 if you're currently long, 2 if you're currently short. You don't need to say any other numbers. It's implied you're not doing anything if you don't type 1 or 2. That way we can just keep... See? Jesus is already throwing off our study. Again, it is implied, my friends. If you do not type 1 or 2, it's implied you're not in the trade. And when you're not in a trade, it is implied that you're just sitting on your hands. So, and that's just my obsessive like some stuff. Okay. HR needs a timeout. He literally put a 0 after I just explained why. So he's officially trolling at that point. Okay, we'll give him 5 minutes. Literally just explain why, and then he types 0. I mean, if that's not a troll, if that's not a rage bait, I don't know what is. What if I have a buy stop order limit? Again, the premise of the question is if you are long. Not are you trying to get long, but are you long? If the question was, are you long or trying to get long? Well, then there you go. That you would be included in that because you have a limit order out there. But it's just, are you long or short? It looks like we have a pretty even breakdown. So, yeah. And that makes sense because it's kind of, I can see both sides of it. So I can see how people would be long. That's not surprising. I can also see how people would be short. That's not totally surprising either. Okay, with the pullback here, I might take a swing at it long. I am now long. Come on, keep bouncing up, brother. Come on. That's kind of my golden goose point. Like, if we could get a break of there, that'd be great. That'd be real nice. But let's see. I do like how it is now respecting that purple line. So if you want to consider that like a trend line, then, you know, looking at somewhat of a bull pennant. Come on, brother, push. All right, well, maybe needs to consolidate out of there a little bit more. Heavy CVD divergence on the 1 minute, 300 contracts, bears getting eaten alive. I have no idea what a CVD divergence is, but it sounds cool. And if the bears are getting eaten alive, that sounds good for me since I'm long. What? You told me the bears are getting eaten alive, Cam. What is this? Whatever this CVD divergence thing is, do me a favor and throw it in the trash can. Holy smokes. What in the world? CVD divergence. Bears are getting eaten alive and it spikes down. What in the world? Maybe that was a typo. Maybe the bulls were starting to get eaten alive. I mean, yeah, we both longed it, but I'm saying your CVD thing, throw it in the trash, got my hopes up. I thought I was about to be shopping for a private jet. You're out. Well, I'm holding and hoping, brother. Man, you just Darcy'd me. The Darcy effect in full effect, man. I was on the receiving end of it. At least you were long. That's better than you just saying stuff and not even taking a trade. Mark just went long. Okay. I'm kind of tempted to pick some more up. Because this is, okay, that was a decent candle. I don't want to over fancy it though. Might as well. But then I do that, and then when I have to tighten up my stop and all that, you'll give me grief like, why was your stop so tight? Couldn't it hurt? No, it definitely could hurt. Wait, what? What do you mean? What do you mean adding size couldn't it hurt? Huh? No, it definitely could hurt more. That's hence why it's more risky. Now, of course, yes, you'll get paid more too. Again, the reason why I can just kind of sit here and weather this a little bit is I have small size. If I went in with huge size, yeah, I would have been out already. But like it's moderate size where I can try to weather this storm a little bit. Well, we need some trade plans from you, CXG. We need some trade plans from you. You got a trade plan for us? How are you going to make money from this? No, my trade plan wouldn't matter. No, but it would matter. So that people around here can see if you know what you're talking about, or if you're just kind of flapping the lips in the breeze. Okay, so just so I understand your position, you're not going to give us a trade plan, like ever? Here you go. Here I go. What? I'm being. I didn't know I was on your time. I don't know what that means. Just put on timeout. No, I want to give him. He's saying a bunch of stuff, so I was like, okay, well, what would you do here? And apparently he's just a lip flapper. So, okay. At least now we know. We know who the lip flappers are. Timeout for chatting. Well, no, you got to chatting. Chatting is not nuanced enough. I mean, that's just that's an intellectual buffoon That's a straw man fallacy. You probably don't even know what a straw man fallacy is. So you just misrepresented the entire thing by saying, oh, I'm going to get a timeout for chatting. Straw man fallacy. If you wanted to steel man it, you would say, I'm going to get a timeout for flapping my lips because I say a bunch of stuff, but then when asked to actually back some things up with a thought process, I'm not willing to do it. That would be the steel man argument. But right now you have chosen the logical fallacy of the straw man. Come on, brother. Bounce, brother. No. Now you're trying the red herring fallacy. The topic on point is, can you give us a trade plan? Or are you just here to yap? And as of now, you're like, no, I'm not going to give a trade plan. So therefore, you're just here to yap. That's all I'm saying. You are a fallacy machine. Holy smokes. We need to get you. You should come volunteer at my daughter's homeschooling co-op. And you can just sit there and just start talking. And then because the kids are in a part of their logic class is recognizing logical fallacies, you can just sit there and talk and they can start pointing stuff out. That'd be great. You'd be an asset. Although neither steel nor straw apply now, do they? I'm not sure what. Okay, come on. Come on. Go. Oh, don't even do that. Marky, I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to let you get my hopes up because you're going to act like you're going to make a big move up and then just stop right at my entry. You close your long, plus 200, well, whoop-de-doo. No, congrats, Mark. Good job. Oh, Marky. You dirty, dirty rat. Okay, go, Marky. Go. Go. Get through it. Give me that breakout. Give me that break. I should probably take one up there just in case it does exactly that. I was not prepared. I should add an order up there just to take off one, just in case it literally gets rejected right at that level. So that was very poorly played on my part. Come on, push. There's my second try. Okay, no, I deserve everything I get on this one for just being a greedy baboon. Cheryl's in long. Roger that. Why? Why did that trend line have to be so accurate? Why? Isn't that amazing? I mean, not for me, but I mean, you guys saw that thing. It's been sitting there and it literally got rejected right off it again. Okay, CXG, this is going to be my... If you think I'm going to continue to engage with somebody that is just using logical fallacies everywhere, is not willing to give a trade plan, just yaps, I don't know what to tell you. I think you have a wrong impression here. So either give a trade plan at some point, or Mary had a little zip it. I can show you that zip it. Name the movie. I know. I realize those weren't those exact lyrics, but name the movie that I stole that from. Name the movie. Movie trivia time. What is it? No, not the songs. The concept of me taking like a little phrase and then adding zip it to it. There we go. We got the exact correct answer. Austin Powers. Yes. Ice, zip it. Okay, yet another straw man. This is your last time or I'm just banning you for being, I just think right now you're a troll because nobody's this stupid. I think you're intentionally being this dented, but I do want to be fair. The next time you are welcome to talk. I'm just saying the next time you do talk, have it be with 3 numbers. An entry, a stop, and a target. And if you cannot do that, ban you. No problem. See you later. You'll probably be back again under some other name. Because I think you've been here before. All right. What an absolute dent. Man. Now, like I said, again, I had 2 chances to at least pull one out there. So that this would all still be a losing trade. But it wouldn't have been as much of a losing trade. You're trying to long down here. Gotcha. Once again, the learning lesson here. If you're ever on the internet and somebody is just talking and talking and talking, a very quick way to get down to business is just to ask them for a trade plan 3 numbers. And if they start squealing and squirming and all of a sudden the excuses come pouring out, that take that information with what you will. It's very easy to just talk and use words and broad statements and this, that, and other. But to actually have to use 3 numbers introduces preciseness that a lot of people like lip flappers don't want to use. So that is very quickly, as an FYI, as a learning lesson, how you distinguish lip flappers from people that actually have enough of a system to give you numbers for a trade plan. Hey, Miss G. Wait. No. Force fed. What's going on with you, man? You're just like banning people? What was that? There you go, yeah. In your real life, even if you're not talking about trading, you just say, give me a trade plan. That's right, just trade the trend. Yeah, it's just that easy. But what if it's a trade in my hindsight account? Yeah, I definitely want to hear the hindsight trades. Hindsight trades and trust me, bro trades. Those are the best ones. Yeah, 50 has been pretty solid here. New here, what platform am I using? Well, there's 2 answers to that question. Answer layer number 1 is I'm in a prop firm. That prop firm is Take Profit Trader. That's the link that you see at the top of the screen. And then through Take Profit Trader, the platform I'm using is Tradeovate. Yeah, same, Spencer. My hindsight trading account has got trillions in it. The problem is, even if I just try to withdraw 5 million, the payment withdrawal is always denied. It's weird. That'd be a good brokerage. Trust me, bro. Maybe that's what we're gonna name the prop account or prop firm that we're gonna build. Where we offer the $10 accounts for $500,000 in purchasing power, but then we just have like 1 million rules so that nobody ever passes. All right. Will this maybe, finally, kind of, sort of, be the break? Maybe. Come on. Go. Blue Nose on. Come on, Marky. Don't even tease me again. Come on, Marky. You dirty rat. Marky's got it out for me. Do it. Hey, Clay, what's that blue line? It seems pretty accurate as resistance. Unfortunately, the blue line is just simply my entry point that my platform puts on there for me. So, yes, as of right now, that very accurate resistance level is unfortunately my entry point. So I can't quite get green. Dude, Clay, how do I get that super accurate blue line on my chart? What special indicator is that? Look how spot on accurate. Clay, what is that secret indicator? Yeah, that's my entry point. Yeah. Yeah, the entry indicator. Yeah, it's I guess the clay fade indicator. Given I got long there, that was where you should have been short. What open positions you have? What do you mean? I'm long MNQ right now. Come on, get up through that blue line. Come on, push. Please, just give me the breakout. You stupid tread line. Why did I draw that tread line there? Why does it have to be so accurate? Go! Go! Push! Push! You're through! Breakout, stampede. Okay, took one out. Go! All right. Let me get these. Let's make sure this is a winning trade at this point. Because this would just be, yeah, that would be unacceptable if I let this all of a sudden turn into now a losing trade. So let's see if we can get my, wait, did I just get stopped out? I did. Okay. All right, well. There it is. That one took, that felt like a swing trade. That felt like a swing trade. Stay in. It's going to break. Oh, wow. Keeping the West wild. That dude is rich. He's got a crystal ball. Dang. You'll get it. RSI rising. I mean, I'm not trying to be negative or a jerk to you, but I just something to consider. Trading is a little bit more difficult than just watching the RSI. Just because the RSI is rising doesn't mean like go long. I wish I could say trading was that easy. You just put their RSI on, and if the RSI like starts to come upwards, then that just means you go long. Again, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I appreciate your input. I really do. But yeah, trading does not need to be rocket science, but it's going to be a little bit more in depth than that. Yeah, Ty, exactly. That was. What all indicators are you using? Candlesticks, some moving averages, volume profile, and VWAP for the most part. My favorite indicator are candlesticks. As an FYI, for people wondering, this guy says we have to use stops. There is no stop. My stop, it was just a mental one below the overnight low. So that was my line in the sand there. So we did get close right there, but ultimately it worked out. I used to use all kinds of indicators, and now I barely use anything. Yeah, Jason, I think that is the journey of many, myself included. I still remember back when I got started, just pouring, and this indicator combined with this, and trying to see. I was basically trying to crack, like trying to find the holy grail. Like, okay, if I just put this indicator with this, and I wait for this to happen and this to happen, and I mean, hours upon hours upon hours with indicators and combining indicators, and yeah. The problem is that I made money on it, so I don't know if there was a problem. But automation, Maven, it is great to have you. First off, new name. But around these parts, brother, we like practical pieces of information. Well, what's a practical piece of information? And a trade plan. What is a trade plan? Well, 3 numbers. So automation, Maven, when you see something that you think is actionable, give us an entry point as a number, a stop loss as a number, and a target as a number, brother. And then that way we can see exactly what you mean. Because right now what you're saying, okay, those are observations, cool. I'm all for a good observation, but an observation is not a trade plan. But what a trade plan does is it allows you to take an observation and then make it practical for all of us to actually see what you're truly seeing. So yeah, next one you see, brother, where you would be like, oh yeah, for whatever your observation is, just give us those 3 numbers and you'll have nothing but our respect. Even if it's wrong, that's okay. Being wrong is part of a trader. Training or trading? Faith over fear. You missed your entry because of the stupid day job thing. Yeah, but to be fair, that's a two-sided coin. Because I would assume if we looked back over the history of your day job thing has also helped you avoid what would have been maybe some disastrous trades. Enter when you break. Okay, well, see, I asked for 3 numbers automation. You only gave us 2. Or I'm sorry, you only gave us 1. So you gave us an entry. Your entry would be 371. Okay? So where's your stop and target at? Yeah, and I've been trading about 20 years now. How long does it take to reach the profitability stage in trading? There is no set time. And I'm nitpicking your comment a little bit, but it's a worth a nitpick. You're also operating under the premise that you will reach profitability. That's a false assumption. Maybe never. So there is no guarantee that you'll ever reach profitability. So how long? I don't know. Maybe never. All right, Alex, keep on fighting, brother. Okay, so I think Automation Maven has been here before, my guess is. As there's either trolling or they don't understand what I'm asking for. No, I don't think so. Okay, we don't have a stop loss from you, brother. You never gave us a stop loss, dude. See, the problem with your trade plan is, you wanted to buy this pullback. Well, fine, but without a stop loss, for all we know, that move would have already stopped you out, Maybe not, but we just don't know. That's why if you just give us those 3 numbers, like in the same message, then we can track everything. See, hey, look at Stop Loss Bandit. Automation Maven, look at Stop Loss Bandit. Right there. You see how he's giving us 3 numbers right in the same message? Chef's kiss right there, brother. Stop loss half that distance. Okay. It's one of the great mysteries of live streaming. Why people fight tooth and nail to just give 3 numbers. Why they just can't give 3 numbers. Why? Other people, it's like, oh, here you go, boom, 3 numbers. For others, though, it is like I'm asking them to solve Pythagorean's theorem, I put my stop loss an inch away. Don't prop accounts come with built-in stop? Yeah, I mean, if you look at them in certain ways, sure. The account itself is the stop. But the practical stop ultimately is the account price itself. But yeah, it's weird how some people go in a politician mode when it really is like the most basic of basic questions. Could you just give us 3 numbers? Just 3 numbers. Well, good, Ken. I'm glad my high blood pressure is entertaining to you. What up? Hope you are doing. Hey, John. Triggered along here. All right, Labradabber. Look at this. Look. Kodak, the perfect. Look at that 3 numbers. Look how easy that was. Oh, my goodness. Good job. Exactly, Kent. You've connected the dots. Okay, well, next time, Automation Maven, just gave us 3 numbers in the same message next time you see something, okay? That's all you got to do. I'm trying to make your life easier than not having to type up paragraphs of words. How much time do you all spend in a day doing trading? Just out of curiosity, is this like, are you working on a school project right now? And part of this task is to go interview, like take a survey of trading? If yes, I guess this is pretty clever. Like this would be a quick way to get a bunch of surveys. $23.9 hours a day. Yeah, for me, normally I'd be at 90 minutes at most. That's what it's been for the vast majority, and usually looking for like 30 minutes. But yeah, live streaming has changed up that equation for me. But yeah, if there was no live streaming, then yeah, 90 minutes at most for me. 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. No, there are no max. There are no max profits. I mean, eventually they'll just put you into a live account, Compton. I'm in Spain. Did London session this a.m. How'd that go for you? Yeah, so Steve, yeah, we only sleep when the market sleeps. So Steve sleeps from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Yeah, if you're looking for passive income, by definition, day trading is not passive income. Swing trading would be somewhat of a passive income. Investing is definitely passive income. Yeah, if your goal is passive income, then yeah, day trading is not where you want to be. Okay, automation maven. This will be your last warning, my friend. What you're doing right now is called just you're flapping your lips, like you're just saying stuff. We need an actual trade plan from you, brother. You're about to get above an ascending wedge. Okay, so how would you take advantage of that? You think we're about, or you're not even thinking, you're saying we're about to. So you're saying, hey, we're going to get over this ascending wedge. Okay, fine. Give us a trade plan. How would you make money from this observation? Can you do that, or are you just flapping your lips? That's what we're trying to boil it down to. And again, all the numbers in the same message. Entry point, stop loss, and target. So tell us how you would make money from something that is about to get above an ascending wedge. Can you do that or no? If no, then yeah, you're just what we call around here a lip flapper. The 5-minute EMA is about to grow. It's going to make push to the upside. Okay, so like still with what keeping the West wild. Like cool, that was like a lot of words, but whenever you actually get us those three numbers, give us those three numbers. Because as of now, that's just one big observation. But observations are not trade plans. Correct. Trading is I don't know what the number is, but yeah, trading is vastly, can you manage the voices? We all have voices that live in our head, and the skill, the thing of trading that you have to learn to master is, can you control the voices that live in your head? Okay, so now consistency FX, I'm thinking might be a bot, because you literally just copy and pasted the same thing. All right, so mods, keep a close eye, and consistency FX could be just the bot here. Did you get stopped out there, Stop Loss Bandit? See, look at algorithmic trading solution. Look at that. The dude gave three numbers. There you go. Right. And that's fair enough, keeping the West wild. That's fair. But what I'm asking for is when those three numbers make themselves available, get them to us in real time. But that is fair. If you're waiting for a form of confirmation, I can understand that. But as soon as you get that confirmation and get in, let us know in the chat. I'm in here. My stop loss is here. My target's there. And I guess the guy talking about it's going to get above some wedge, I guess he's not willing to, or able, I don't know, either not willing or able to actually make that practical. Which is a shame. 383 is a key level in my opinion. All right, and okay, yeah. Kodak, you did give us a trade plan earlier, so I appreciate that. Hey, TJP. Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Enter here. Okay, where is here? Define here. But I appreciate it, Automation Maven. You have now, well, assuming you give us an actual number for your entry. Wait, what? There's some typos in there, right? Your stop loss is like not, well, give us a number. Oh, I'm sorry, you're a different person. Okay, whoa, wow. Yeah, you're a sway trader then. Your stop loss is wait, what? 340. Oh yeah, your stop loss is down here. Your target is 465. Oh, okay, yeah. So you're more of a sway trader. Gotcha. See, that's just so much easier now we know that Automation Maven is a sway trader. And I don't mean that like he's wrong. I'm just saying, okay. So he has no problem based on that trade plan potentially waiting for hours. If he's got to sit here for the next 3 hours and let this thing play out, he's okay with that. To me, that sounds like misery, but that's just me. But see, that's the powerful thing about a trade plan. We now know that he is a sway trader. Cool. You can tell a lot about a person by, never judge a book by their cover, but looking at their trade plan, it reveals a lot. My indicators just must have went mushroom hunting this weekend too. Yeah, maybe they found some bad mushrooms. I don't know. No, Harjacks. No. I mean, if you want to just get bamboozled into a cult, sure. In fact, here's how much I'm not a fan. Let me go ahead and just delete that message out. There we go. Are you in a prop account, Automation Maven? I'm assuming you're in a prop account, so you can't really hold overnight or between sessions. I am interested in a long down here if it wants to drop down a little bit further. I don't know. 5 minute, okay. Maybe I'm actually interested in a long up around here. We are still in an overall downtrend, though, I would argue, based on the 5 minute. Ooh, your own funds? Whew. All right, you playing with some fire. This boy's playing with gasoline. But I appreciate it. Thank you, Automation Maven. Even if that trade plan turns out to be wrong, you have nothing but my respect and the chat's respect, because at least you have the courage to give us numbers. So I appreciate that, good sir. Stick around. We love courageous people around here. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like the beard. Really need to close above. Hey, good morning, Azaria. I'm sorry. That I can never say your name smoothly. Maybe kind of sort of along around here. Hey, good morning, Barrow. BZ8. A sunny day. Hopefully the sun comes out here in Iowa. I don't know if it's a sunny day here yet. It was stormy. It was a stormy morning. Entry 378. Okay. Very good. Appreciate it. Armand. Okay, I don't know if I'll remember your name. I'll do my best though. Voices are saying YOLO 6NQ. Do it. Then do it. I'm kidding, by the way. The cautious stay safe. The confident get paid. I would agree with that. You scared money does not make money, but That there's a fine line between confident and cocky, because the cocky do not get paid. Is Armand. What indicator do you have on right here? Iman overnight high low. Negative minds spot problems. Positive minds spot profits. No, that's Bush League. Now you're going Bush League. That's just nonsense. Now you just went Bush League on us. So wherever you're copy and pasting this stuff from, it just led you, hey, thank you, David. That's very kind of you. By the way, for all of you that gave to Joy's birthday, her mind was blown. She was like, wait, what? So thank you, everybody. That was very kind of you. She's like, what, did you ask him to? I was like, no. People just asked what I was doing tonight. And I said, oh, it's my oldest daughter's 14th birthday. And then from there, people just were kind enough to donate. So thank you. That was very kind of you, for those of you that did. You've been grinding these out all night for you, Clay? Well, yeah. Yeah. I like that first one. The second one was Bush League, though. The only way to fix a problem is to spot a problem. So, yeah. If there's a problem and you don't spot the problem, that it's a massive problem. All right, maybe along here. Okay, Hawan, you're asking the wrong question. In fact, I already explained this to you, I think. So, Hawan, can you please give me a 5 so I know that you're still here? So if I explain it, I know you're going to hear it. Because I'm pretty sure I explained. Maybe somebody else asked it. Okay. You're asking the wrong question. Can I pass in one day is not the right question. In the prop firm space, the question you want to ask and should be asking is, how many days is it until I'm eligible for a payout? So take profit trader, it is a 5-day test period. So that may sound really bad. Well, such and such is I can pass in one day. Yeah, but with some of those prop firms, you then go into like the next phase, and that phase puts you at maybe day 8 or 9 until you're eligible for a payout. With Take Profit Trader, you're eligible day 6. Because the first 5 are the required test phase, but then on day number 1 of your pro account, in theory, you could reach a payout level. So that is the question asked. Not how long is the test phase, it's how many days until I'm eligible for a payout. Does that make sense, Hawan? Well, not like this. Not like this. Yeah, I don't think I was that bullish in terms of getting long anyways. But yeah, the 21 EMA is doing work. That's for sure. All right, Zokru. I think so. What do you mean you think so? What about that does not make sense? No, the eval will be a minimum of 5 days. You can take as long as you want to pass the eval. I always say aim to pass within 1 month, though. That way you only have to pay the fee once. Hey, Clay, do you backtest your strategies as... No, I don't backtest. No, backtesting is... I don't want to say a joke, but a backtesting is very, very deceiving unless you're going to use a bot to trade it. So, Mac Mismo, are you using a bot to trade your strategy? When is appropriate to reset the eval? Well, I mean, if you cook the account. Well, we can... Right. So now the question would be, how many days do you have to trade until you're eligible for a payout? Like you have to take like the perfect situation. Like in theory, if I play things perfectly, how many days would it be until I'm eligible for a payout? That's the number you're after. And with some of the prop firms that advertise that you can pass in one day, I mean that does sound good, and it's good, but it's like, well, yeah, but like for Apex, for example, and correct me if I'm wrong for some of you Apex users, you can pass in one day, but how many days until you're eligible for a payout? Isn't it like 8 days or something like that? Clay doesn't backtest. Again, Zokru, same question to you. Like, for anybody that is backtesting, my question is this. Are you going to use a bot? Are you going to use an algorithm to trade your strategy? Because it's relevant to the value of backtesting. No. Okay. So, here's why backtesting is deceiving to you. Backtesting takes every single setup. It does not hesitate. It has no emotions. It'll just take it. So if you're just okay, we're getting some movement here. Let's table this for a second. Okay, let's pull back. So let's just say, for example, you backtest, I don't know, a setup, a strategy, whatever you want to call it, and it's like, man, this has, and I'm just making these numbers up. This has an 87% win rate over these past 5,000 trades. Okay. Well, that's over 5,000 trades. That is the sample size. So if you start to now do it yourself, and then like the first setup comes and you hesitate, well, guess what? You have now just created an apples to oranges comparison statistically, because those stats that you were looking at were based literally off of 5,000 trades every time they happen. But if you're hesitating and only taking, 3 out of 5, maybe because you hesitate or maybe you're just not at your computer, well, you are now you're not looking at the same data set. Now, if you're gonna use a bot or an algorithm that's gonna take the next 5,000, okay, well that's apples to apples. So does that make sense of how the back testing is just? Again, I'm not gonna say it's worthless, but it's quite deceiving. All right, we are at VWAP, and it is just now pushing right up through there. You see what I mean? Yeah, that's just. Again, I'm not saying it's totally worthless, but the minute you hesitate and you don't take a setup or you're away or what for whatever reason, you are creating two different data sets now. Well, no, it has nothing to do with the markets doing. I'm saying if your data is based on 5,000 trades and then you start to not take the next 5,000 trades, you're looking at two different data sets. It's an apples to oranges comparison. Right, Kyle. That is true, Kyle, but that's still irrelevant to the point I'm making. Correct. Yeah, it's one level. You buy the account, it's all the same. That's what I also like about Take Profit Trader, especially for the beginner. Like, it's just very clean cut, very straightforward. Here are your accounts. There's not flex in this and this and this. Now, to the person that's got a lot of experience within the prop firm space, yeah. I mean, that for the experienced prop firm trader, that's a different ball game. Well, and again, Andrew, but the backtest, so to nitpick your statement, but it makes a difference. Backtesting is only good when you follow it perfectly after backtesting. Perfectly being defined as every single time that setup shows up, you better take the trade. Because if you don't, now you have two different sample sizes. Hey, Dixon. Yeah, and all that stuff is true, Todd. I'm just, my point is like, all that stuff is like you're having that stuff is ultimately irrelevant to the fact that the vast majority of people are not going to be using a bot or algorithm. They're just going to, do it themselves. So right there, it's like, okay, well, then that's totally different. But I do agree. If they were to say, well, no, I'm going to use the bot or algorithm, then I would say your point would be more of a relevant point. I do. I know. I know what the dotted yellow line is. That is the VWAP. I get like, oh yeah, like what is LinkedIn even good for? I do not understand LinkedIn. All I get on LinkedIn are people that want to like write me emails, sell me, like bots and AI, make thumbnails for me. I don't understand. Maybe that is the purpose, and I'm just the idiot that does not understand the actual purpose of LinkedIn. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be scared. Like, how many like tire kickers do you get? Stop loss bandit. There's different macro and condition when currently happening. Oh yeah, agreed, Willie. Again, I agree to that point, but that would be more of a talking point to the person that's using a script or a bot. And most people that are using backtesting are not then going to move forward with a bot or a script or like an algorithm. I agree, but I don't think that's relevant to the people the vast majority that are doing backtesting. Correct. With code Clay, Juan, if you use code Clay, you're getting 40% off any of the accounts you choose and then 0 activation fee. So when it comes time to activate after you pass, when you activate the pro account, again, if you use code Clay, that will be $0 as opposed to $130. I target specific people. What my VAs do? What's a VA? Yeah, if you are enjoying in any way, shape, or form, if you don't mind hitting that like button, it helps. Oh, virtual assistant, gotcha. Yeah, hitting that like button, I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot because you're just clicking a simple button, but if you could do that, it does make a difference. Thinking about potentially a short up around this pink line here. This is the 200 SMA. You're going to try a short at 410. Yeah, I might join you. I'll be a little bit higher than 410, but we're definitely in the same ballpark. Looks like we're thinking and seeing the same things. Who was it? The Suede Trader. I forgot. Automation Maven. His trade's going pretty well right now. If I remember right, he said he was getting long, I think somewhere around here. So, I mean, he's still got a ways to go for his target to get hit, but yeah, his trade's off to a good start. Good job, Kodak. All right, Brian, I appreciate it. There's the trade plan from Brian. Cut a little early was 405. Seems like you'd have a good chance to get 405 here, but overall, good job. Congrats. See, that's so much better. If you map out a trade plan ahead of time and it works out, and you don't have to say, trust me, bro, it's just so much better that way. Nice job, Lobber. Trying to see if the storms are done yet or not. There's potential for another round later today. I think, are we maybe good to go now? There we go. Well, things are right. Okay. Yeah, these are pretty low percentages. All right. So there was a time where thought might come in. But there we go. All right. House project site, start to begin drying, please. Initiate drying out sequence so we can get concrete and stuff poured. Supposed to get bad. Yeah, where are you at, Steve? Are you in Illinois? I remember TB had his own running off. Yeah, that's usually around like Black Friday deal. It all resets. Juan, I swear at this point, given you've turned me into like your personal customer service rep here, if you don't get an account with code Clay, I'm going to hunt you down, brother. I'm going to hunt you down. I'm looking for you. I'm going to find you. If you Sergio me, it's not. Oh boy. Oh, by Davenport. Okay. Yeah, that's obviously on the Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but for you, it's obvious. You're on the border with the Illinois there, so I saw some of the weather stuff saying Illinois was supposed to be kind of a prime territory for it. No, I realize you're trying to do your research. You basically turned me into your personal research assistant here. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to hunt you down. I'm going to find you. No, that is not true. Let me ask you this. Maybe I can give them feedback. What led you to that conclusion? That you only have 5 days to pass. What led you to that conclusion? Was there something in the marketing or the website? Maybe that might be some valuable feedback. They said that the main tornado threat has shifted to... Okay. The email said you need 5 green days. You need 5 green days. Yeah, I don't even know what 5 green... Yeah, okay. No, no, you can take as long as you want to pass. The minimum is 5 days, though. So there is no 1-day pass. But the good thing is on day number 1 of your pro account, you could get paid. So in total, if you play things perfectly, you could be getting paid on day number 6 of the account. But yeah, I always say aim to pass within 1 month. Yes, this says per month, and that's true, but that's only during the test phase. So if it takes you 6 months to pass, you're going to pay that 6 times. Don't do that. 1 month is more than enough time to pass. You can take as long as you want, but it's a minimum of 5 days. But make it your goal to pass within 1 month. That way you're all in risk because that's all you've spent on the account is 102. No, that's not. No, Alex, that is also not true. Are we? No, that's incorrect. You do not need 5 green days to get a payout. Kodak, that depends on what account you're buying. A 25K has different passing requirements than 150K. Who is? No, Maggie is talking about Take Profit Trader. Okay, now I'm getting confused. Maggie, what profit? No, I thought she said Take Profit Trader. Yeah, no. Hey, Alex Gonzalez, look at her first message. The emails here. Is it true with Take Profit Trader you only have 5 days to pass an eval? With the 50K right here. Whoops. 50K, you got to make 3,000. You can go up to 6 NQ, 60 MNQ, but don't lose 2,000. And then there's the drawdown over there. There you go. Very straightforward. There's no consistency, there's no scaling, there's no scalping. Very, very straightforward. You're all good, Alex. You just made me think that for a moment that I was the crazy one. Yeah, I've never met anybody that uses Take Profit Trader, gets to the pro phase, and then complains about daily payouts. You know, and being able to and not like, well, you can only request XYZ amount. No, you can request any amount. So yeah. We are indeed just a bunch of baboons. That is true. Again, heyo, that is so irrelevant, though. Completely irrelevant. In fact, it's almost, because I know you're not new here, it's almost like, are you trying to be deceivingly irrelevant? Because how do I always explain that, heyo? Like, come on, man. It's a monthly payment. Because of how futures move, giving somebody a month to pass the test is plenty of time. Which is why I always say, aim to pass within 1 month, which makes what you're saying here irrelevant. Come on, brother. In fact, I'm just going to delete that because it's false. Relative to how I have and always do explain things here. Again, you have to be in the test account 5 days, which, I mean, a lot of people pass within those 5 days. You don't have to pass, but again, because of the nature of futures and how quickly they move, 5 days is actually more than enough time. Heck, 1 day could be enough time, which is why some people ask about 1 day. So an entire month is certainly more than enough time to pass the test. Therefore, this whole monthly fee is just irrelevant. Yeah, maybe some do, but not people that ask here, heyo. That's my point. Here I make it clear on why it's just best to aim to pass within 1 month. Clay, has anyone asked you to trade? Yeah, I mean, yes. Over the years, a lot of people have asked that. Yeah, exactly, bending. Yeah, why the person that's not passed in 1 month, I don't know. Am I crazy? Or that'd depend on who you ask, Alfonso. Some people would say, yeah, you are absolutely crazy. Other people would say, no, same for me. So it depends would be the right answer there, Alfonso. It depends who you ask. When you scale up. Yeah, I think that's a good... What I've noticed and what I would agree with is, at least the people that are here, and if you are convinced because of this live stream to give futures trading through a prop firm a try, I've noticed that is a lot of people, just because I say as a beginner of the prop firm space, take profit trader, very straightforward. But then if they want to build and start to copy trade more than 5 accounts, then yeah, seems like Lucid and Tradeify are a couple of the more popular ones, with Apex. Those are probably the 3 that where people jump into after take profit trader. 9 counts on the 1 minute, but you're in the 2 minute, I guess. With the 9 count on the 1 minute, you might bounce off. Yeah, I don't know what the 9 count is. Never heard of it. Never heard of her. But hey, if she works for you, more power to you. But I've never heard of her. Not interested. I'm already married. Right, yeah, exactly. Bender. Just take the profits, learn, and see. Witness it before your very own eyes how base hits can add up. All right. Today has been so hard to just get... Okay, as I say that, we're getting a pullback here to maybe the 21 EMA. Maybe something I can work with here. Yeah, Dixon, that's the one thing that always makes me laugh. The people that complain about cap payouts or max payouts, and then you're like, have you ever gotten a payout? Well, no. It's like, okay, well, how about you cross that bridge right now? Hey, Steve, congrats. I had to scale way down on that. Gotcha. Well, hey, if the 9 count works for you, brother, that's ultimately what matters the most. We all gotta find our own cup of tea. Hey, Vin, good to see you. All right, I'm thinking about maybe I will. If it wants to come down here, I'll try to hop in here in this bull pennant. So if that green line turns blue, I'm in. I am in. So let's see what she wants to do. Put a couple targets there. Can I get my first target hit? I really like this candle here. Okay, well, as of now, it was... I thought it was going to be no big deal to get that first target hit, but apparently it's not going to be that easy. This is what I mean. Like, that one trade I was in for forever, and it just... I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's why I argue I don't think the trailing drawdown is as evil as what people make it to be, because usually the people that make it evil are the ones that are like, I want a home run or die. It's like, okay, yeah, that's going to make your life very miserable. But if you just take base hits, that's how you beat the trailing drawdown. I think it opens your eyes to how powerful base hits are. And then Ty right here is just saying how powerful base hits can be. And I don't blame people for not thinking it's worth it to take base hits, because intuitively it's like, well, no. Okay, well, this one... All right, let's just see if I can get a little bit more of a bounce. I'm not even going for break even, but let's see if we can get more of a bounce. Bounce. Well, I guess at this point, let's just do this. It either bounces or I'll just take the loss right here. So there's my stop. It is what it is. What a nice candle, too. Nice candle and this little bit of a pullback here, and it just punched me. Just didn't care about it. I mean, to be fair, maybe it does recover, but I'm not planning on it. What broker is this? 2 layers to that question. Layer number 1, I'm in a prop firm. That prop firm is Take Profit Trader. That's what you see at the top of the screen there. And then through that prop firm, I am with Tradovate as the platform. So I am in the prop firm of Take Profit Trader, and then through Take Profit Trader, I'm using Tradovate. Oh, crap. Doggone it, you're right. And we got the note auction coming. Oh, boy. Well, I don't know. Maybe the note auction helps to bet. Or I'm going to get stopped out here anyways. Piece of garbage. Garbage action today for me. Garbage. And I am... To be fair, at least, I mean, it's just hard to get filled regardless. Somehow I survived that. I don't know how that didn't stop me out, but maybe I get stopped out here. And I am stat. There's no way I survived this. There's no way. There we go. All right. Okay, well, I'll take that trade. I mean, I would take that trade again. At one point, looking like this, then, I mean... yeah, it's just messy. Just messy. So, oh well. Oh well. Well, I don't know how you define support, Maven, but yeah, there definitely was not any support there as it dropped quite a bit through. I can't believe how bad of a reputation. Well, I mean, there are, like anything, there's always bad apples. No, no, you can trade her in the bond auction. All right, so I'll just sit on the sidelines and we'll click. I think there's two. I think it's a 3-year and 5-year. So the prediction, I guess, our prediction model or my prediction model would be right here. We should see some spice at 102, maybe. So the theory here is that the vast majority of trading, at least over my career, markets did not care about the bond auction, where the government auctions off treasuries. However, in the past few years, because debt is spinning out of control, the markets are now caring more and more about these auctions because they're curious, are people still buying the debt? At what levels are they buying the debt? Blah, blah, blah. However, at 1 o'clock is when the auction starts. And the working theory is that because it's electronic, it does take a couple minutes for the auction to actually happen and then for the results to be posted at 102. And we've seen some pretty big jumpy jumps because of the bond auction. So, but it is a working theory. I don't know if it's really matters that much, but it's done enough stuff here where I think it's worth continuing to keep an eye on. Wherever I don't know what calendars are you guys using that show that it's a bond auction? Yeah, volume has come in a little bit more. I don't know if that necessarily has to do with the bond auction. Maybe it does. Okay, we're live. Who's live? All right. So, per the theory, nothing should happen at 1 because 1 is just when the auction starts. So we do need to wait for the auction to conclude. So that is what this line here represents. Back test a month to the 8-day payout. That's when you know. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Again, nothing should be happening. But on this candle here, per the I think we've had one though that like got jiggy at like 101 though. Again, it's a theory in motion. Okay. British man once said, a year of learning trading is when you can start. Zoker, I think you're like not live. I think you're far behind. That doesn't seem like a comment that you like is relevant right now. So I think you think you're live, but you're actually not. So by the time you hear this, Zokru, maybe check the scroll bar and see, are you actually caught up live right now? Okay, 101. Now we are getting jiggy, but I don't think this has to do with the bond auction right now. But we'll see. You can't troll a troll. Okay, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. You are far behind, I think, brother. Can somebody let Zokru know that he's not live? Thank you, Jocko. All right. We're approaching 15 seconds. Let's see if we're about to get jiggy at all. 5 seconds. Here we go. Buckle up, maybe. Okay, maybe. I know some of you are watching further results. But as of right now, looking like the market did not care and does not care. So I don't know if that's maybe the market's not as concerned about the 3 to 5 year, whatever today's was. Are we about to go long? I don't know. Are you? You tell us, Risk to Riches. We've been waiting for you this whole time. This whole time, the whole chat has constantly been saying, where is Risk to Riches TV? We need to know if we're supposed to go long. Doesn't it take 2 minutes? Well, yeah, but it starts at 1. So it should be over. That's the working theory. Yes, 2 minute delay from 1 o'clock. But the results are not out yet. So it's not over. Okay, okay. So we can track when we know it's going to be over or not. So some people are tracking. So the theory is still potentially in motion here. Okay. Zokru, my friend, yeah, I think you're very, yeah, you're just, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I think he's behind, but he was told. Zokru, type ABC. Let's see if he's, we'll run a test here. Zokru, type ABC when you hear this. ABC. Oh, all right, you are live. Then I don't know what you're talking about. What is Jocko on board as a mod with that face? What's that supposed to mean? The dude just helped you out, brother. What are you giving him the eye roll emoji for? Or is that a maybe that's a tired face? All right, I don't think is the bond auction still going? Wait a second. Wasn't I long down here? Didn't I get stopped out like right there? You dirty rat. It's over. All right, well, this was, market did not care. Wait, there's no results. Okay, now I don't know what to think. It's over, but there's no results, or it's... Okay, there it is. There's the results. All right. So it did not care. All right, well. And these were, which ones were these? This was 3 month. So maybe it's the longer dated ones. I don't know. We'll keep our eye on it. This 400 level looks like a big resistance. Perhaps. I mean, maybe I'm nitpicking, but I'd say it's probably more 405 as the resistance, but we're close to one another. Whoops, Vin. Whoops. White House press briefing right now. Oh, brother. It's not Trump talking, though, right? 5 years stayed. All right, Todd, thank you. I got jelly when I saw you doing 8 contracts. Yeah, Zokru, are you talking? Maybe you must be having a conversation with somebody else. If you don't mind tagging who you're talking to, that helps me out. Because I assume the messages are for me in the chat if I don't see anybody else's name. I may go make some sweet tea. Oh, that's right, yeah. Man, how desensitized am I? I forgot to even bring up what happened over the weekend. Listen, have we all not collectively been saying for the most part, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but at least around here, we have been constantly talking about we are living right now in the Jerry Springer show. I think that's why what happened over the weekend, like I didn't even think to mention it until just now, because it's like, well, that's par for the course. We are currently living in a real-life Jerry Springer show. You have a poem for me. Oh boy. How many zombies could Rob Zombie rob if Rob Zombie could rob zombies? That's a poem? Huh? Trump might have faked a dinner shooting. Facts. Well, I mean, correct. Given the word might, you could say anything. We might be invaded by aliens in the next 32 minutes. Facts. And that is a fact. We might. I don't know. You didn't say we are, right? You said might. The power of the word might. So I agree. That might have been the case. That is a fact that it might have been the case. I might live in Clay's basement. Correct. That is a fact. You might live in my basement. I'm not aware that you do, but you might. That is true. That is a fact. It seems as though the market is bottlenecked by Iran. Is it though? I'm not sure I agree with that at all. Again, I don't know if I would call that a bottleneck. Right now, I see the market just grinding higher and higher and higher. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, given everything that's going on. But yeah, I would not, for my definition of, I don't know how you define bottleneck, but. Well, I mean, I don't understand your definition of bottleneck. Because no, that does not seem like a bottleneck to me. That looks like a market going straight back up. But I don't know, maybe your definition of a bottleneck is the market going straight up. But yeah, I don't see any bottlenecks in the market right now, which, again, I think is kind of confusing. I would assume that it would have been a bottleneck. I would assume that it'd be super choppy and stuff like that. But yeah, looking at that chart we just did, that doesn't look very choppy to me. That looks like something going, like, to the moon. I'm Clay's long-lost son. Okay, well, you didn't use the word might, so that's not really a fact. Okay, here we go. Maybe a short here. See if it wants to get rejected off the pink line here. So we'll try a short at the red line. Okay, I'm in. I'm in. Come on. Come down some more. Okay, took one out. Could still be a losing trade. Oh, there we go. All right, let's make sure this is a winning trade now. Let's get my stop in green territory. Very good. Let's do this next one down here. Next target. So this will be a very, very credible threat. It bounces right off VWAP. Obviously not guaranteed, which is why I'll give it a chance. But if this bounces up and stops me out, I'm not gonna be shocked by that. And stopped out. No, yeah. I don't know if we can get another 100-point trade, but there we go. So, and look at that. Right off the VWAP and up, back up she goes. Wait, what? Volume is too low. Yeah, as always, speculation is a fun talking topic. I just, let's all just be intellectually humble about it, right? The first sign of somebody that's a little awkward is the people that show, and I'm not saying any of you are doing this, but I'm like, when people talk as if they do know, like this is why, it's like, stop acting like you know for sure what's going on. Like just, it's all a guess. We're all having fun, we're all speculating, why is the market doing this, that, and the other? So you always got to be leery of the people that try to tell you like, oh no, this is why. Oh really? You trading out of your mom's basement. That you know why, huh? Okay. You're late to the party? Ah, no, the party's still going. Nobody knows anything, okay? That's the thing. That's why markets are very efficient. Sean P. Good, Sean. I'm glad you're entertained. I learned last week that when it does this kind of movement, well, would you care to share and define this kind? What do you mean this kind of movement? It goes to all-time highs. Because that sounds like you just discovered a holy grail. So could you please help me better understand this kind of movement? Because if this kind leads to all-time highs, I want a piece of that. Good, Sean P. Welcome aboard. Are you not entertained? Is that not why you are here? Ooh, do we got an upward trend line here? Wait, stop. Stop. Let me cook real quick. Stop panicking, everybody. Chat, stop panicking. Hey, stop panicking. I'm a professional. I watch Jim Cramer every night. Stop. Okay, maybe not as juicy as what I thought. Doggone it. All right. Trying to draw this trend line. To short or not? Ooh. To short or not short at that trend line. It's got a history. I might take a swing at it. I got burned so many times that I'm long right now. Okay, but that's not my question. Dude, I learned from last week that when it does this kind of movement, it goes to all-time highs. Okay, cool. What I'm asking is specifically, can you define this kind of movement? What kind of movement? Because it sounds like you have discovered something. When it does this kind of movement, it goes to all-time highs. Hey, I want a piece of all-time highs. But I would like to know what kind of movement I'm looking for. Can you get a little bit more detailed there, brother? Help us all out. Let's all make some money together. Whatever Kramer says, do the opposite. Isn't there an ETF that's like based on that? The inverse Kramer or something like that? 1 week of observation has been, I don't know. That's why I'm curious. He has noticed some kind of movement that leads to all-time highs. No way. We landed on the moon. Classic movie. Looking for the next pullback. Close. He's a genius. He is. Okay, here we go. We're good. KDKS, that's it. Gotcha. Hey, Skeletor, good to see you. Well, it got close to that trend line, but unfortunately for me, I was looking more so at the trend line itself. So not close enough for me, unfortunately. Yeah, that's me too, relax. Like, I can quote. Not the whole movie start to finish, but like if you give me a quote, I can finish that quote. Which reminds me, I do need to watch Dumb and Dumber again. It's been too long. I am interested. I want to see how this candle finishes, but I'm interested in maybe a long candle here, depending on how that one takes shape. But I want this candle to finish moving around first. Well, and this is exactly why. If this candle just continues to dump, well, then never mind. I'm used to people mispronouncing my name. Yeah, that name is not English. DJS is like not a thing in the English language. You had 2 pairs of gloves this whole time? Yeah, we're in the Rockies. How long have I been trading? We'll call it 20 years now. And it's just my main job is income stream creation. I believe in doing what wealthy people do, and I've noticed in my study of wealthy people that their main job is creating multiple streams of income. So that is my main job. I'm trying to create many streams of income. The thought of see, that's why I'm glad I waited for confirmation up here. Now we're getting a big pullback. But yeah, the thought of myself having 6 kids, the thought of my only stream of income being from trading and having to feed 6 kids would pop my head like a pimple. That would be way too much pressure. I have no problem admitting at all I would be a failure of a trader if trading was my only stream of income and I'm trying to feed the mouths of 6 hungry children. We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off. What the hell are we doing here, Harry? Okay. I want to go to a place where the beer flows like wine and the women instinctively flock like the salmon of Capistrano. I'm talking about a little place called Aspen. I don't know, Lloyd. The French are... Well, man, I swear, some days it rains and pours. The same question over and over again. I'm using Trado. So 2 layers to what I'm using here. Layer number 1 is I'm in a prop firm. That prop firm is Take Profit Trader. That is the link at the top of the screen there. If you go there, you can use the prop firm that I'm using. Through that prop firm, Take Profit Trader, I'm using Tradovate. Big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later. You're welcome, Sean. Aspen. I'm talking about a little place called Aspen. Okay. Why we let's see if I can. Oh yeah. So like I'm such a fan that me and actually one of the guys I met through claytrader.com years ago. He's actually a legitimate like good friend now. Right here. Trolls. Anyways, he's a big Dumb and Dumber fan too. So there we are. We went to visit the hotel where, all that was filmed. So right there, and then that's the sign right there. We landed on, look, I imitate it. See? Yeah, right there. You guys say, and I am a pure fan of Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, there we go. No way. We landed on the moon. Yeah, that's true. Not Aspen. That is true. Yeah, it's actually there. You look like my brother-in-law could be twins. Which half of that title describes you? I think I missed something. Half of what title? Correct, yeah. It's in Estes Park. Hence right here. Whoops. Estes Park. No beard. The younger look. Well, I mean, given that video was, I don't know, 7 years ago. Yeah. Again, I am a grumpy old man. I've been on YouTube for even before 2013, but I started claytrader.com in 2013. So even from that angle, Yeah, the YouTube channel has now been around for 13 years. Man, Clay, you look older. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you watch the videos I first did, that is now going on like 13 years ago. Oh, of the movie title Dumb and Dumber. I'm sorry. Whoa, hey, somebody yada 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 yada. Okay, everybody calm down. I remain calm that whole time. As you just saw, I remain calm. I want you all to remain calm like I am remaining calm. What was that, brother? Are you HR? Very good. Did everybody remain calm with me? Now, in all actuality, because today's been a slower move, that move was, I don't know, 90 up to, that was about, we'll call it 35 points. Again, 35 points, nothing to scoff at, but like 3 weeks ago, this candle would have been what? Probably like 80, 90 points. You need the toilet paper? That's that. Those sorts of moves are why this is part of the day trading toolbox right here. Most nonchalant react. Exactly. Thank you, Marco. Like, you probably didn't even realize anything was going on. Honestly, just entered and put target. Boom. Hit while that. Okay, so you just went to degen mode. Gotcha. I'm glad the degen trade worked out. I had one a couple weeks ago where I chased one of those and it did not work out. It did not work out. I closed green on that day still, but man, yeah, I gave back quite a bit. But I'm glad that one worked out for you. You made $100 on that spike? Because you're in before the spike, or you just hopped in? It started spiking and your finger just started to go click, 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 bye, 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 bye. There you go, Todd, exactly. You're long before that? Hey. So then you totally need the toilet paper. If you were short, use code Clay. Again, that was only 35 points. Now, if you were oversized, 35 points is enough to cook you. But, you know, if you had the position size, especially with micros, then you could weather that storm. Oh, you're already in. Okay, Kodak. Well, congrats. I'm just hoping, you know what, I just noticed this. Look at this trend line. Doing work. Again, didn't hit it exactly, but very, very close. So I think I have to at least take a swing at it. If the price does get to that trend line, I think I at least have to try a short. On gold, just as an FYI real quick, it's still got a ways to go, but if it can get up to that 50-period simple moving average right there, maybe might be worth seeing how that behaves for a potential short. I had my target price too close, or would have been more. Yeah. It happens. It happens. But had it done this, so let's say this was your target, and had the price done this, and then just cratered, you'd be like, man, I nailed that. Oh my goodness. I would have gotten roasted had my target been higher. So you know what I mean? Self-made project. You got a little hindsight, you know. It could have also done that. It could have just barely hit your target and then dumped. And then you'd be very proud of yourself for where you chose to put that profit target. But good old hindsight confirmation bias. It's a dirty rat. It's a dirty, dirty rat. Worst day ever Friday and blue. Oh. Worst day ever Friday? Really, Lance? Or are you just exaggerating a little bit? I should go buy a lottery ticket now. Personal. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, pick me one up too, Kodak. Can you show your indicators? Yeah, they're all right here. Or do you mean tell you what they are? Yeah, you must mean, yeah, this is the 50 SMA. Dotted yellow is the VWAP. That green there is the 21 EMA. Pink line is the 200 SMA. These are candlesticks. That's volume profile. And that up there is a pivot point. You know your chat is very engaging. Yeah, no, we have a great, I mean, I'm kind of a stickler, and we're all sticklers, like, against lip flappers. But if you're not a lip flapper, then yeah, I think the chat is a very pleasant place to be. Because nobody's ever going to roast you. If you map out a trade plan of 3 numbers and it doesn't work out, people just say, hey, welcome to the club of not always being right. But we appreciate your courage to actually map something out. So yeah, I think we have, and I really do mean this. Are we the best chat? I don't know. I think we are in the running for one of the most solid chats in the trading space. Just because, I don't know, I'm a stickler for some things, and when I see certain behaviors, I'll give the person a chance, but if I can tell that they're not quite cut from the same cloth as us, boop, they gone. Clay doesn't dox unless you're Neil. I never dox Neil. Huh? Thank you, Bramos. That's true. Thank you. Yeah, hit that like button if you're enjoying in any way, shape, or form. Hit that like button. All right, gold, as I just pointed out a little while ago, it's getting, for any of you gold traders, it's not quite there yet, but it's getting close to that 50-period something moving average. No, I've never thought you were a troll, HR. Start date. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you were definitely one of the first people in HR. That's great. You were old like me then. We're old. I'm taking around Burgundy type of approach. Yeah. I can't remember the guy with the Jaguar perfume or whatever. Todor, what I use is literally what I just told you right there. That's what I use. Oh, sorry to hear that, Wolf. Oh, sorry to hear. Yeah, bummer. Okay, maybe a short. Maybe a short. We'll see what happens. Oh, the gold. Gold. I guess I didn't hit it. I'll just bring it over real quick. Basically hit the purple line. Not totally close, but okay, here we go. Maybe. Let's do this. I'm going to do a fake breakout of the trend line and just put my order right there, which is that orange line there is the previous session close. For some reason, the market seems to care about the previous session close. Obviously not perfectly, but enough for me to keep it on my chart. Or is it really just going to get rejected from that trend line again? Do I short right at the trend line? I'm going to look for the fake breakout. Not now short. Why not? You don't know my strategy. Why wouldn't I short right now? What happens if my strategy works out? I agree maybe for your strategy you don't do it, but... Dude, not now short. That would have been a beautiful scalp. Won the world, Anime King. Well, I'm sorry for any of you that listen to Anime King that said not now for a short. He just cost you 10-point scalp. What do you say, Anime King? Do you feel bad at all? Dang, that was mean. There is somebody here probably about to get a 10-point scalpy scalp. You owe them an apology. That was savage on your part. What in the world? Dang, I didn't know we had such savages in here. Crazy. I listened to him and and you jumped right in. Okay, I'm still looking to get short. This has me a little worried. It did already pull back in its recovery back up. And then he just goes silent. That's crazy. Okay, here we go. Maybe kind of, sort of. Again, looking for a fake breakout of this trend line. I am oh so close to getting in. I am in. Good. In. Let's see the rejection now. Come on, be a fake breakout. If it's a real breakout, well, then I'm about to have a losing trade. Come on. Come on down. At least hit that first target. That would be nice. If I could get that first target hit, that would be appreciated. Uh-oh. Should I have just taken the scalpy scalp? Maybe. I mean, like I said, I had a chance at green for the scalpy scalp, but I'm not looking to play a scalpy scalp. Maybe that'll be the wrong decision. We'll see. Gold. I don't know if oil's moving, but gold is being very strong right now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Go down there. At least hit that first target. I'll be a happy man if you can hit that first target. Okay, I'm making this a winning trade, though. My stop is in green territory now. So it'll be either a small green trade. Dude, hit that first target. Are you kidding me? Thank you, brother. Thank you. Okay, let's put my stop right there. So this thing either keeps coming down or I'm stopped out for a modest green trade at this point. But yeah, so my risk right now is I'm making some money. My reward is, I don't know, I make even more money because I don't know how far down. Come on, hit this next target, brother. Do it. Come on, brother. Do it, brother. Brother. I thought, what? I thought we were friends. Dude. I think I must have been like a tick away. Come on, come down, brother. All right, whatever. Don't judge. You don't know me. I'm going for more on this next one. You don't know me. Don't judge me. You ain't Cletus. You ain't Cletus. Stop. I can hear people judging me that I move my targets. You don't know me. You ain't my daddy. That's Chuck Norris. Yeah, you ain't scared of me. Oh, you want my address? Here, let me go grab a pen. Come on. Keep coming down. All right, stopped out, you dirty rat. Yeah, Marco, either you know I'm about to crap my pants or else you know maybe I'm about to get excited. Yeah, You guys can just like, oh, here it comes. What is your target profit per day? Oh, that's the devil. I am not a fan of daily profit targets. I'm not a fan of any sort of daily goal. Daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, any kind of goal when it comes to like making XYZ amount is the devil for me. It creates too many mind games. Because if your targets, and I'll just keep the math easy. If your target is $1,000 and you're at $950, oh man, you have failed. You have not hit your goal. You got to go make 50 more bucks. Is it safe to leave a good amount? Well, I mean, are you gonna be buying more accounts? If yes, then yeah, definitely leave money in your wallet, Compton. Now, some of you may be saying, well, yeah, Clay, in your example, if you're at 950 and your goal is 1,000, that's close enough. That's fair. But the follow-up question of that is, yeah, well, how do you define close enough? So then maybe you'd say, well, close enough is if you're within 10%. Okay, well, 10% of 1,000 is $100. So in all actuality, your profit target is actually $900. Well, now what happens if you're at $897? Dang, now you're doing really bad. Because not only did you not hit your $1,000 goal, now you didn't even hit your close enough target. So that's where the mind, like you can't get away from the mind. Close enough does not get you away from the problem. You got to be kidding me. You knocked me out, and then you come down even further. What would be your mindset? Take good setups. So if there are 400 good setups in a day, hopefully I have 400 trades. If the next day there's 3 good setups, hopefully I only have 3 trades. Do you have other job? Yeah, well, my main job is income stream creation. So yes, I have this. I have the YouTube channel itself. I have real estate investing. I have other, yes. I'm a full-time income stream creator, which is what I argue all of you should be. So if you are here with a full-time job, fantastic. That means you have one stream of income and you're working on another one. That's fantastic. Do you do crypto? Absolutely not. I'm a day trader, and day trading futures through a prop firm, mathematically speaking, the most efficient way to go about day trading. Sean, if you're trading futures with your own money and you're not in a prop firm, Sean, I would say that's a very dangerous thing you're doing. Wife's health insurance? Nope. We do a health share. I guess, yeah. I mean, we do, what do? We do, let me think about it. There we go. We do this. So if you are looking for a health share, yeah, we have no complaints. We've been with them now probably going on about 2 years. I'm in Ninja. Well, okay. What I'm asking though is, are you in a prop firm or did you load up your own funds in a Ninja Trader? So are you with a prop firm, or did you just take your own money and put it into Ninja Trader? Okay, well then yeah, you are playing with absolute fire. Yeah, you are mathematically doing the thing that is very risky. So yeah, if you want to go about things in a way more risk-controlled way, prop firms. So I'm glad you're doing futures at least. That's good. But my argument to approach day trading in the most efficient way possible would be to day trade futures in a prop firm, though. The prop firm charges. Yeah, so you don't. Well, no, not if you used who I'm using, Take Profit Trader. and I don't have to pass the test. Yeah, Sean. Okay. Yeah, see, the problem with your logic right now is you're presupposing a bunch of things that are not true. You're acting as if you're always going to be a flawless trader. You're always going to follow your rules. You're never going to get stuck in a Trump tweet. That's what you're presupposing. Well, yes, you have to pass a test, but you're asking that as if it's like, well, see, right, but the test is worth it. How is the test worth it, Sean? Let's just say you have a bad day. Maybe you don't even have a bad day, but the markets are crazy. You get stuck in a spike. Something happens, and it's $2,000 gone. So you have a $2,000 bad day. That's how we're defining bad day. The cause of the bad day, even if it wasn't you, maybe you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Slippage got you. So $2,000 bad day. So here's the superpower of prop firms. So for you, prop firms, it's a reduction of consequences. So for you, obviously, if you're using your own funds and you lose $2,000, well, that's literally $2,000 out of your pocket. That is the consequence for you. What about the consequence for the person that's in the prop firm? Well, the prop firm consequences, well, yeah, if the rule is you can't lose $2,000 and you do, well, okay, that causes you to lose the account, cook the account, roast the account, whatever terminology. So your account has now been taken away. However, what did that cost you to buy that account? Well, it cost you $102. Assuming you're using code Clay, cost you $102. So think about it. Out of your pocket is only $102. So same bad day, $2,000. Consequence one for you, $2,000 out of your pocket. Consequence for the prop firm trader, $102 out of their pocket. I'll only speak for myself, but the math suggests to me I'd rather have a bad day of $2,000 only cost me $102 versus $2,000. So yes, prop firms are great because you can copy trade. Prop firms are great because you can, you get good leverage. But in my opinion, my main argument would be that is the prop firm's true superpower, is the ability of risk management, specifically the ability to reduce consequences. So there we go. How do I pass the test with well, I mean, if you're using Take Profit Trader, again, that's who I use and I recommend. So with the 50K, for example, you got to show that you can make $3,000, but you got to manage risk. Don't lose $2,000. So that's what you can take as long as you want to do that. But I always say aim to do it within 1 month, so you only have to pay that once. Because after you pass the test, this per month fee goes away. Once you're in what's called the pro account, there are no more monthly fees. How do you balance that with the upside on the other side of that? Well, again, so what you're saying is, yeah, Clay, but if I use my own funds, I get to keep 100% of the gains. Again, that is true, but you also keep 100% of something else, aka your risk. So I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of the upside as like an insurance policy to protect myself against myself on one of those really bad days where I go on tilt or it's just a bad day. So that's how it's essentially prop firms, in a way, are insurance policies against yourself. I'm new to day trading. Should I study the use of a paper trading account? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need to learn how to just like read charts and stuff to begin with. But yeah, whenever you're ready to make that. But yeah, don't learn with your own funds in a futures account. That's a very quick way to get a very expensive education very quickly. You are welcome. All right, maybe along here. Let's see if it can break up through this area. All right, I'm going to try it. I'm in. Come on, break. Push. 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 Come on. Okay, I took one out just in case it snaps back against me. So just a little bit of risk management there. Come on. What is that? All right, there's like a delay, right? All right, there's a little bit of a delay. See? What? Okay. Okay, you popped up and I wasn't even... Could still be a losing trade. It just won't be as big of one because I've at least put some gains in my pocket and reduced position size. Put my next target up there. Exactly, Miss. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's, the whole idea of, well, I'm going to use my own funds and I have a stop loss. There's two problems with that. One, you're presupposing that you're always going to honor your stop loss. If you've ever traded, I've heard lots of stories over the year. Some of them revolve around me where I say I'm going to honor a stop loss, and then somehow I find myself justifying a reason to not honor that stop loss. But even if you just say no, you're always going to be perfect in honoring the stop loss, which I think is a pretty bad assumption. But then you still have like spike risk. Like if Trump just says something, and then you have slippage. So I mean, yeah. Come on, get back up there. Today, yeah, exactly, today. Come on, brother, push. Come on. Go, brother. Okay, I took another one out just because the way it's putzing around, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm down to 2 now. That way, if I'm wrong and it still goes, well, hey, I still have 2 to enjoy the party. I'm not sure that's a real thing. Where did you read that? Papacito, please don't tell me you learned that on Twitter. What's your source for that? And if it's Twitter, with all due respect, I'm going to have to be like, yeah. Come on, push. On the 5-minute, that 200 period moving average is up there at about 445. So I'm going to actually go up a little bit more and just try to get a little bit in front of where that... I realize you can't see it here, but if you were looking on the 5-minute, you would see the 200 SMA is right up around that area. I back tested it. Okay, well, gotcha. Okay. I can get rid of this line here. I think it's, for me, served its purpose at least. Come on. Ugh, this... All right, whatever. I'll hop out. Well, today is... I personally just can't quite time myself. Maybe I should have just been scalping this whole time and stopped trying to time something. But I mean, the market has made moves. I can't quite time it today. Sold for 36. All right, Brian. To have still 2 in is great concept. Oh, God, yeah. Add small, sell big. All right, well, I mean, I think the main area of resistance remains on the 5-minute. You can see, I was telling you, that's the 200 periods at moving average. That's right up there about 45. So then if we look at where 45 is here, two-minute seems like the main resistance is right there, which as of now, that has been where it's at. But I'm almost wondering, do I look for a fake break above here with where the spot it starts to begin to be a fake breakout up there because it gets smacked back down the 200 period? All right, glorified good. Well, hey man, when you get your next trade, let us know. Let us know where you get in or where you're planning on getting in as a number. Let us know your stop loss, and then let us know your target. And that'll help us all have a better idea of what you mean by add small, sell big, and also how your tick thing works. So Rambo sounds also to be confused. Well, I guess I'm glad I got it where that was disappointing. For a moment there, I was getting ready to do some dancing. All right, maybe a long down here. I mean, we're basically at the bottom part, so I don't know. Oh, ooh, maybe a long here. Let's see. I'm gonna wait for some confirmation though first. You gonna fade me? Maybe. But, I mean, you already got short up here, so you're already plenty in the green. Long 4-9. Okay, here we go. Whoa, ooh. Okay, that's getting a little spike. Okay, I'm going to go long there. See if we can get... It's bounced off this yellow line before. Now we have the 21 EMA. Let's see if we can get another bounce. All right, I'm in. Come on. Hey, how about yada? There we go. I took the scalpy scalp, meaning with the way my day's been going, this thing is probably ready to go to new highs. Because I finally chose to do the scalpy scalp, so watch this thing now just go straight up. Just because Markey is trying to just punch me in the ribs today. That's fully what I'm expecting. I finally decided to scalpy scalp and watch this thing just go like beautifully straight up. Look at the trend in 1 hour. It is likely going to bearish market to low. Yeah, well, I don't use the 1 hour though. So... I appreciate that, but the thing is, I realize you're coming from a good place, and I appreciate that. You're trying to help out, which is great. The problem is that over the 14, 15 months I've been live streaming, if I were to start to include everybody's suggestions, I would need about 40 monitors I'd have, and I wouldn't be able to see my chart because I'd be looking at this moving average on this time frame, and in your situation, I'd be looking at the 1 hour time frame. So, I mean, if you like the 1 hour time frame, fantastic. And again, I appreciate you throwing that suggestion my way, but for me, at some point as traders, we just have to draw our lines in the sand. Like, we can't look at everything out there or else you'll never make a trade. You're a fire trader. If anyone has 10-minute look up any AI market. Yeah, I mean, I could. Yeah. Could totally be surrounded by him. But I mean, I've had people tell me to look at the Australian 38.8% Fibonacci level. And I'm like, I just don't have room on my charts for the Australian 38.8% Fib level. You know? Then somebody else shows up and says, no, that's terrible advice. It's the 38.32% New Zealand Middle Earth Fib. And it's like, okay, well. Yeah, then you have to keep in mind the Mekong Delta liquidity sweep. Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah. Not the 61.8, the 62. Like I said, if you look hard enough, we would be able to find why that rejected. Now, why it rejected there, that might be on the 23 EMA on the 17-minute time frame. And somebody could show up and be like, dude, why aren't you using the 17-minute time frame with the 23 EMA? You could have nailed that short. And it's like, cool. Like, I hope you did, and congrats if you did, but like, everybody's got to draw their line. Everybody's got to, you got to draw your line somewhere. Yeah, the Moroccan VWAP, yeah. Has it changed everything for you? I've never been a fan of the Moroccan VWAP. Trump will have some news for us later. All right. Sorry, it's the high. Right, the high of what? Yeah, why was it the high there? That's the thing. That's what we need to discover. Why was that the high? It's probably because that was the Gotham City Andrew's pitchfork boomerang. Yeah, somebody earlier mentioned, man, I used to have so many indicators and now I barely use anything. I'm like, yeah, I think if you trade long enough, you eventually, and again, this is a general, not for everybody. One of the very good traders from our private community, I look at his chart and I'm like, well, how do you even see anything? But in his mind, it makes sense. But I would also call him the exception, not the rule. But I think most people end up with a KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. We don't need a million indicators. I've used the 15-minute range, and it works all day. Every day it works? Will we ever see a red day again? I don't know. Red days might be illegal right now. Maybe another long down here at the yellow line. We'll see if it kind of continues to chop around. Don't forget the Cletus. Yeah, that's true. The Cletus EMA is a good one. Yeah, I've never tried that. Black candlesticks on a black background. That could get spicy. Not every day. Well, right, that's the point. Nothing works every day. Therefore, just find something that you feel comfortable with. And for you, Scott, it sounds like you love your 15-minute range. Cool. But per your own admission, well, it doesn't work every day, yes, which is the point. There is no holy grail. I used to rely on RSI. Now I barely use any indicators. Yeah. I use a 15-minute orb also tied with... Yeah, exactly. Which, why I've talked about it many times. I don't have any problem with the orb. But if you're just doing like it, you can very easily oversimplify the orb. And it's like, yeah, if trading were only that easy. But yeah, if you're using it with other confluences, that makes sense to me. That's good. I have black candlesticks on a black background, but they are all outlined, so I know they're candles. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Maybe I should try that sometime. I wonder what that would look like. Nothing does and nothing will. Exactly, Scott. Exactly. Yeah, I don't think I'm interested here anymore. If it does want to drop down to this general area, though, I'm definitely quite interested in a long down around that VWAP point right there. That looks kind of spicy. That's how I do it. Black candles outline. Dang, I don't know. I mean, what kind of paint are you sniffing? How do you even see that? Maybe that's the hint? Is there a certain brand of paint that you have right next to your desk when you're looking at that sort of stuff, where you're just like, oh, I can see this perfectly. Oh yeah, there's the Mongolian barbecue midpoint. Yeah, and exactly. There's a big difference between that being the basis to which you build upon, and then just literally that's all you do. Like, yeah, it's just not that. Trading is not that easy, unfortunately. Nice bull pennant. Nice bull pennant on gold. Still kind of in an, not kind of, it is in an overall downtrend. So it's a little bit more difficult to trust that bull pennant, but that thing's nice over there. All right, we're back here. Do I just try it? If this is just, maybe I should just be trading the range. Maybe this is the new range, and you range traders are like, Clay, we're at the bottom of the range. Get long. The Mongolian barbecue midpoint. Exactly. It can get very spicy, and you definitely want to have toilet paper at your desk. Cam, see? Dude, look how specific. I know a paint sniffer when I see one. I appreciate Cam and him just being honest about it. I mean, think about the detail. He takes this the art form of paint sniffing very seriously. As he should. I mean, the guy is using black candles on a black background. Oil is going back up. Is it? Let's see. Oh yeah, oil may be coming out of this out of this little consolidation. Okay, range traders, you were right. I had plenty of room there for a scalpy scalp. You were right. Fair enough. Has anybody really been crushing it this afternoon? So let's call it from about I don't know, 10:45 until now. 10:45 Eastern. 10:45 Eastern until now. Has anybody really had any bangers? You have? Okay, good. Yeah, just I don't know. I have not been able to really put anything together where I can really nail one that really goes in my favor. Again, I've had winning trades. I've worked myself out of the red, but yeah. Nice. Oh, nice, Brian. Are you up over the buffer yet or working on that? Gotcha. Okay. That makes me feel better. I mean, yes, in hindsight trading, it's always easy to be like, well, what are you doing, you idiot? Why didn't you do this, you moron? Why don't you notice that there's these lows right here? Why don't you notice that there's a hammer candle right there? And why don't you why don't you buy the break of that hammer? You could have nailed that. It's true. But if you have ever traded, you know that trading is actually not that easy. It is very easy to look back to the left and then cherry pick and make an argument as to why something makes a lot of sense. But in the heat of the moment, it's just not quite that simple. Nice job, Akoro. Acro. I know I call you Acro. That's not actually the name, but it is what it is. I almost moved my Pro account and go down and I managed to come back. Wow, that's a crazy day. Good job with come back from that. You accidentally went long with 5NQ? Goodness, Rambo. No, Brian is not from the EU. I think he's okay with me saying that. I'll just leave it there. I'll let him go any more specific, but he is not in the EU as far as I'm aware. Is stock trading not a thing anymore? Oh, yeah. Day trading stocks makes no sense. Mathematically provable, it does not make any sense compared to day trading futures through a prop firm. The math is just not there. And as somebody that has day traded stocks and options for years and years and years and years, futures are so much better. And then you sprinkle in the prop firm aspect and how that can help manage risk. Yeah, it really is a no-brainer. Again, all mathematically provable. This is not well, that's just your opinion. Well, unless you want to argue that math is subjective, which, spoiler, it is not. Two plus two equals 4, regardless of your feelings. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but Oh, okay, yeah. That was a lie because I'm not sorry at all. It's just it is what it is. Yes, Clay, but small caps and low floats, they can move so big. And I mean, again, I hear you, but you are taking on way more risk. Not only in the form of it could always just dump against you, but you're taking on halt risk. You're taking all sorts of these risks. You need more money, and yet you're still making less than what you could be in futures, especially if you want, or futures through a prop firm, especially if you want to start to factor in copy trading. But even without copy trading, yeah, it's just, sorry. Yeah, and penny stocks were just so far irrelevant. Wait, did somebody try to pump a penny stock to us? Then I missed it? I don't think so. I don't know. Do I try another long here? And do we finally get a... So what was it? Here I think I went long. And it worked out kind of, sort of. Is a 5-minute candle going to turn red? I don't know. Is this about to break out? But even if it does, just both two fake breakouts. Both here and here. What is this orange line, you may be asking? That is the previous session close. Stocks. Okay, yeah. Again, it's a nuanced conversation. Do I hate stocks in the category of investing? No, I invest. I have a portfolio of stocks that I invest in. I'm just calling stocks garbage in the category of day trading. Okay, maybe a short here is about to get rejected again. Maybe kind of, sort of. I think I'm scared of a short right now because the past two times, well, I guess that's not true because right there it did get rejected. But not counting that moment, the other times the price was up here, it did actually push through and then came back down. So I think that's why I'm a little nervous to get actually short right at that level. Hey, YSC, good to see you. At what point do you take a trade? When I see a setup that makes sense to me. It's going up. Okay, well, where, Sydney, tell us how you're going to make money from that statement. Where's your entry point? Where's your stop loss? And where's your target? Hurry, Sydney. Hurry. What's your trade plan? It's breaking your yellow line. Well, yeah, no, but I'm asking you. You're the one that said it's going up. Or are you just observing that it's going up right now? I thought you were making like the statement like, oh, it's going to be going up. Was that just an observation? Gotcha. Okay. I would enter now. Okay. So you're in at, and where's your stop loss at? You're in at 430. Where's your stop loss and where's your target? Right now, looking like a good, but we have an incomplete trade plan. Stop at 25. All right. Where's your target at? We're waiting for you. Hermic. If I had to take a guess at where you're struggling in your journey, I bet your struggle is over trading. That's my guess. I think that you think day trading means you're supposed to be making trades like pretty often. That's what I think you think. So yes, because of that, I would say that your struggle right now is probably something to do with over trading. All right, well, Sydney about to get stopped out here, which is okay. It happens. Nobody can be right all the time. Long from 410. Okay, well, so you're looking, my first is looking for the price to get down to 410. So you gave us two numbers. Where's your stop loss at, my first? You gave us an entry and a target. Where's your stop at, brother? 3 trades max for me. Yeah, I'm not very comfortable with that rule either. Because what happens if you're looking at 10 A+ setups in the same day? You're gonna bypass 7 A+ setups because of some arbitrary number of 3. That's why for me, I just might take good setups. That's it. If that means that there's 300 good setups in a day, hopefully I have made 300 trades. If there's only 3 good setups in a day, well then hopefully I've only made 3 trades. Okay. Sydney. Oh wait, I think Sydney's out now. I think that was a trade. Did it hit 35? I didn't see. Sydney might be out. Yeah, it did not quite hit 35 up there. Oh so close, yet oh so far away. All right, my first. Now we have a total trade plan here. We got an entry and a stop loss from you. Entry at 22. Right, I add in. Okay, you got out. There's your 10-point scalp. There you go. Or was it a 5-point scalp? I can't remember where you got in. I think you got in at 30. So yeah, you were risking 5 points, but you did make your 5 points. So good job. Good job, Sydney. And that's always good, right? That was mapped out in real time, so perfect. Now Sydney is just typing numbers. I don't know what's going on here. No, there's just a bunch of numbers. Not bad, Sydney. Pretty much nailed the top with this current move for your little scalp. No, your entry was not 25. Because when I asked you, you said, all right, I'm in now. And that was on this like candle right here. And it was at like 30. This March just wasn't going to give me a setup. Yeah, it's not necessarily a lack of setups for me that's been the problem. I just can't really time up anything to get any worthwhile follow through. Sydney, are you just making stuff up as you go? Holy smokes, Sydney. Did you lose one funded account? I only see 2 today for trade. No, this is the same account. I did not lose any accounts. We did not have to have an 11 a.m. chat today. These are my NQ trades on this account. This is my MNQ trades. So same account, just 2 different contracts. No lost accounts today. How about the crude trading account? Yeah, there is no crude trading account. I have not traded oil today. Is it really going to break, or is this about to come right back down? Oh boy. Is it finally going to go? Look at it now. I'm not going to look at this volume. No thanks. No, what is this? Nice solid green, and that's all the volume you got for me right now? No thanks. It could still go, but that's not exactly the type of volume I'm looking for on that kind of action. I wouldn't pay. You're getting wrecked? Well, then stop trading it. Come on, brother. If you're getting wrecked, that is a piece of data. With that data, I would suggest that it seems reasonable to just call it a day. Granted, I also realize that that is way easier said than done. Because if you're getting wrecked, you're getting irritated. And if you're getting irritated, you're like, I'm going to get you back. And with that sort of attitude, you're going to keep trading. So I am aware that me just saying, hey, just stop trading if you're getting wrecked is way, way easier said than done. Ooh, that's a nice recovery. You about to sucker me in? You about to sucker me in? I think I'm about to get suckered in. Again, the volume, though. There's nothing here. Even on this big old recovery back up, where's the volume at, brother? Well, good job, day trading. Well, I guess you're not out of the woods yet. We still got a little bit of ways before 5 p.m. Eastern when it officially shuts down. I will say this, though. This is also a problem. Like, don't get me wrong. I love futures. But, like, you have to be aware of the pitfalls. But in theory, like, okay, well, you just gotta just don't trade anymore till 5, and then you'll feel better after a good night's rest. Yeah, futures, there is no good night's rest. You get 1 hour, and then the temptation shows right back up again. At least with stocks, to be fair to stocks, again, this is not nearly enough reason to go back to stocks, not at all. But, like, just let's be aware of the potential problems. Like, at least with stocks, you can be like, all right, you know what? I'm done. I survived. I made it to the closing bell. Now I got a good night's rest ahead of me, and we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Yeah, futures is like, no, we're going to give you 1 hour, and then the voices are going to show back up. I've never traded it. Does the later market move like the earlier market? Don't even worry about it, day trading. If you haven't started, stick with what's been working, brother. Don't even worry. I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to hand a crackhead a meth pipe. Age session has been my downfall. Yeah, again, if you're in America, I don't know, man. Like at 4, again, I'm not perfect with this either, and I understand there's always exceptions. Like if there's some sort of huge news, then yeah, maybe check it out. But like more times than not, just get outside. Go do get a step away from the computer. You can hear them too, the voices. Oh yeah, we all have voices. I full port at 6 p.m. I mean, at least you get good result. I mean, not good results being defined as like you get instant feedback, whether that's blowing account or making money. That's what I mean by good results is instant feedback. You would get that if you full port at 6. Good job, Alex. I take short naps at my computer. That way I can trade. I mean that seems like a great life to me. Like trading futures 23 hours a day, you take that 1 hour of sleep. And then on Saturdays, of course, you hop over to crypto because crypto's always open. And then you do that on Saturday or on Sunday until 6 p.m. Eastern, and then you're right back. I mean, that sounds like a very fulfilling life. I do understand, though, if you're new, you're like, actually, Clay, that sounds great. Because you're at the trading this fun stage. But you do this long enough, and don't get me wrong, I still enjoy trading, but I would not call into this fun. Now, live streaming is fun. Acting like a baboon is fun. Joking around, bantering is fun. But, like, you do reach a point where trading feels more like a normal job. You're here to do something, so you just do it, and then, like, you're done with it. But I do remember when I first got into trading back in college, like, I dreaded Fridays. Like, it was the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, oh, bummer, it's Friday. Oh, bummer. Now we're going to have the weekend. Why? Well, because the market was closed over the weekend. I think everybody goes through that phase where the it is fun phase. Give me a 5. And there's nothing wrong with this, right? We've all been there. Give me a 5 if you are in the this is fun phase of trading. Like you're like, no, Clay, I despise Saturdays now because the futures market is not open. No, you're not, Brian. You're not. You're lying. You lying. So Brian's just trolling. Because if that was true, Brian would not be so disciplined to only trade during the hours he trades. He would not be stepping away. Yeah, I mean, I'm at the like I've been here for a long time. I look forward to Fridays. Like I want the weekend. Well, I would say that you enjoy it. You enjoy it, but like not a lot of 5s. Well, I mean, to be fair, most people here aren't always participating anyways, which is fair enough. Yeah, exactly, Wolf. Like I said, it's not like I dread Monday morning. Like it's not that. It's just there does reach a point where you're kind of, it is what it is, and you just okay, hit the markets and do what you got to do, and it is what it is. Okay, maybe I'm interested in a long down here. If this comes down, we have this area here where it is bounced, bounced. I guess close enough, and now we have the 50 period right there, that 50 SMA. So that does not mean it will for sure guaranteed bounce from there, but maybe take a swing at it. Clay, is that a wedge? Is what a wedge? I don't know. You tell me. You're the one crushing it with payouts all the time. You tell me. Please come down 20 points, Mr. Markey. I mean, you did say please. We'll see if Markey considers that. Who's Markey? Well, he is the market maker that lives in the basement of Fort Knox, and he controls everything on his computer that has Windows 95 on it, and he's on a 56K modem. That is who Markey is. That is who controls the market right there. Markey. Yeah. Yep. And that's what I'm always trying to balance. Like, sometimes I just want to go super big just for the spirit of the live stream and try to make it that much more entertaining? Yeah, I do. That's not necessarily smart, though. Surprised you didn't catch any long back up. What? Huh? What long backup? We're in like a 10-point range. Okay, maybe like a 15-point range. I mean, I'm trying to catch along. I mapped out this as an area I'm interested in, but once again, it just didn't come down far enough. Oh, but what time is the trade? It will be the time, to be answer that, the time of the trade will be at 2:34 p.m. Eastern and 17 seconds. That will be when the trade happens. Do you trade ES? Are you trolling right now, Ace? That's got to be a troll. I completely recognize your name. So I think you are either just, well, I guess rage baiting is a form of trolling. So that's what I mean. When I say you're trolling, I think you're trying to rage bait right now. Because there's no way that your name, which I do recognize, does not know what I tend to focus on. There's no way. Yeah, Clay, why didn't you long the bottom? I know, because I'm a terrible trader. Clay, you idiot, this is not hard. You buy low, sell high, or you sell high and buy low. Oh. It's getting boring. Well, then make a trade. Here, Mitch. Go make a trade, brother. You beautiful dented baboon. If you're bored, go load up, brother. Stop yapping and do something about it, brother. In fact, pick up some more accounts and copy trade. You won't be bored anymore. You'll be cracking walnuts, boy. Cracking walnuts. Oh, that ain't boring, boy. Go crack some walnuts. I promise you won't be bored anymore. You'll thank me. If you're seeking to cure boredom, brother, you go pick up some more accounts. You copy trade those things. You full port them, and you just put a bowl right next to you. You'll have some nice checks mix in about three minutes. You can crack some walnut. What do you want? You want some acorns in there? You'll crack those too. What are some of the hardest nuts out there? Oh boy. I don't do a whole lot of copy trading, no. Finally passed your eval. Good job, relax. And once again, it does not come back down. Brazilian nuts are the hardest nuts. There you go. You can crack some Brazilian nuts too. And okay, I tried. Well, hey, if you want to help support the stream, given this is totally viewer supported, code Clay, all caps, with any of these prop firms I recommend, I love Take Profit Trader, as we discussed throughout the course of the stream here. I think they're the king of the business, especially if you're a beginner just getting started in the prop firm space. But I do also understand that there are people that are not beginners to the prop firm space. So here are some other prop firms that I do have a code with. So like I said, if you want to help support the stream, save yourself some money, code Clay, all caps, whatever the current promotions are at any of these firms, it'll apply that to you. So you're saving some money, you're helping support a stream you enjoy, which is what ultimately, from a business standpoint, needs to happen. If this stream is going to continue, then people got to be using code Clay. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good. On your way out, make sure to hit that like button if you have not yet. I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Usually I do show up early though, so if you want to know exactly when I go live, that is where not only subscribing helps out, but hitting that notification bell will alert you to exactly when I do go live. But yeah, kind of a slow day. Several trades, but just couldn't really time anything up. So we'll see what tomorrow has to bring. So thank you everybody for being here. Like I said, hit that like button. Code Clay, all caps. See everybody back tomorrow. Take care and have a